All right, good evening, everybody. I know I said I wasn't going to be streaming tonight, but it turns out that my professor got sick, which I am very sad about. I mean, obviously, I wish him very well, but I don't get many opportunities to see him. So he is, excuse me, a consultant on a sort of this. It's not exactly a standards body, but basically it's sort of a panel of experts for a very narrow. Effectively, it's a price index committee, and so they will be sort of a group of. It's a group where you take a bunch of world experts and you throw like the really hard questions that you've been working on over the year, like the ones that maybe internally you're not able to sort out, or you really want this higher level of expertise for. It's always I've never had the benefit. Oh, how's it going, Pugport? Um, so yeah, in this case, I've never had the real opportunity to present. I have prepared material to be presented, but in that case, somebody more senior than me was the one to present it to the committee. But it's really interesting to be in the room, and then you always get a chance to maybe talk to some of the people later. I mean, they are it's one of these weird things, right? It's like, how in like academia, the world experts on narrow subjects all know each other. So it's kind of a similar atmosphere to that. So, they're probably going to want to catch up with each other because as far as I can tell, I don't think they get paid for it. I think I would suspect that the compensation really is the opportunity, like the being brought out for the position. But anyways, I don't participate in it. But because he is in town, it's sort of customary to invite him out to dinner, and obviously we cover it. And that's always a nice chance to catch up. In fact, one of the things I really liked was for the past couple of years, even though I don't work in that kind of capacity anymore, I've always been able, just through my natural curiosity or my work, there's always been an interesting problem, and I'm trying not to get him to work for free, but I want to, I want to take the opportunity for someone who I found very helpful as an educator and somebody who is undeniably smart. Like, so just to be clear in terms of the level of understanding this guy has, I've got a copy of Paul Samuelson's Foundations of Economic Analysis. It's the enhanced edition, so I think that one was maybe published around the 70s or 80s. Now, I mean, this isn't necessarily the book that you want to be learning economics out of, but it's, sometimes it's kind of neat to have some of the historical material. I actually have that and like 4 volumes of his collected papers. So, which is weird because actually Kenneth Arrow is my like big point of admiration. Living economists like Darren Acemoglu and Ufuk Asajit would probably be a couple ones that I'm big on. Um, I mean, it depends on the topic. But anyway, um, I oh, and Tom Sargent. Um, but in any case, so that prof is mentioned in the prologue specifically for his work on price index theory, and like Foundations of Economic Analysis is definitely one of the big ones in terms of history of economics, in my opinion, at least. So like this guy is the real deal. And so it's rare that you get an opportunity to just sort of break bread with someone like that, unless of course you are properly in academia, and even then, like in the kind of institution that a lot of people are trying to get into. And so I don't want to abuse the fact that we're hanging out in the same place and I'm getting some free work out of him. But obviously, people are interested in topics, and you get talking, and I've been happy that the last couple of years I've had something that's sort of sufficiently interesting that we kind of, we don't necessarily like come to a conclusion on it. And there's been a couple of times where I'm talking with him and it's like the conclusion is like, yeah, like this would be really, really great, but like this is probably impossible. Like, um, but being able to, I think he's a little surprised that I'm actually taking on some of these problems on my own time. And so I do feel encouraged when he's supportive of something like that. And I think that's probably a trait a lot of good teachers have. But in any case, a bit of a disappointment tonight in the sense that I was looking forward to hanging out, but sickness happens. So I have time to stream for you all tonight. I'm going to be back to ZEPHON. And this time, I suspect it will still be something of a plodding pace. This is more a consequence of my approach rather than a demerit of the game. But excuse me. Let me just double check that I saved. Yeah. I was messing around on my own, but I was using a mutator, and I think it would maybe be better for me to go in sort of cold. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this again. Like I said, it'll probably be a bit of a plodding pace because, one, I would like to get a good grip on the story, and number two, I'd like to be somewhat deliberative in terms of how I approach my choices. I'd like to try and make sure that I'm not just pushing little units around on the map. And because I will be playing sort of the base game, the one without the introduction, there is going to be like the gloves are off. The game is going to throw what it can at me, and so that's going to that at that point, like, this is one of the drawbacks about strategy games like this. It's not a bad feature, but it is a feature that needs to be recognized, which is that with a sufficiently interesting or a sufficiently good strategy game, you want to encourage people to think ahead, right? Like, this is what strategy means. You can't just make, like, I guess you can kind of hope that the enemy does what you want them to do, but for the most part, what you kind of need to think about is like, well, what do I want the enemy to do, and how am I going to make them do it? And if you don't have an answer to that question, chances are you are about to get clobbered. And so to make that interesting for a player, I have a suspicion here. This isn't necessarily me. I'm not speaking with any experience or even, deep thought on this issue, but it would seem to me that you want to reward, and one of the things that a strategy gamer would like is the ability to feel rewarded for investing in those long-term decisions and making the right calls. And that things that take away that feeling or things that cheapen that feeling will potentially, annoy or maybe push someone in the wrong direction. And so, this can have sort of a negative half to it, which is if you wind up in a situation where you feel hopeless, that's not necessarily very fun either. So it's a tricky one, just because if you want to encourage, like, you want to encourage thinking ahead, and if you fail to think ahead, it's quite likely that you are going to suffer consequences, as is appropriate. But if the consequences are too severe, then there's that level of discouragement where it's like, well, I'm just going to stop playing. And like, maybe sometimes there's a lost cause, and maybe you don't want to just like play it out to the very, very end. I do sometimes wonder, like, I don't necessarily think you want to do a consolation prize for, like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's a video game, right? Like, you don't, sorry, just give me a second here for the blanket. I feel like you don't need to give participation trophies for games, But I know a few people who, even like if they're winning in something like Total War, they're not necessarily going to see it through to the end. And then I have some friends who play RimWorld, and they like RimWorld, but they actually don't like the combat very much. And they tend not to play to the end because, to their perspective, really playing to the end just means that they have to do a big fight, regardless of whether or not they're hosting the monarchy, or or trying to launch the ship. Like it always tends to end that way. And like if you like the combat, that's a reward for you. But if you don't care that much for the combat, then you're really just signing yourself up for something that you don't really like. And so you just go and do the thing that you find enjoyable in the core game. And that means that you just don't play the game through to the end. And that can be fine, right? It's not like nobody audits the use of the game. Like I actually knew someone, no joke, like this is going to sound like I've invented them, but I know for a fact this is how they played. They used to play Civilization until they ran into another civilization, and then they would stop and they would play a new game, because for them, they liked the building in Civilization, and they did not like the idea that they would need to defend or otherwise interact with another entity, a rival. And if you think that sounds weird, remember that SimCity, I believe, was an inspiration for Civilization. More so in the idea that games didn't have to be about destruction all the time, that you could make games about building things. And so this is where, Microprose winds up making things like Railroad Tycoon. But it is fair to say, and I do feel a certain attachment to this type of play, that some strategy games do actually have these interesting constructive elements to them, and that some of the appeal really is that same appeal as SimCity. I talked last stream about how, I do run into the rookie mistake in real-time strategy, particularly single player, where I put a lot of emphasis on building the perfect base. So then, at my leisure, I can go then take out the enemy forces. And if you do that in multiplayer, you're going to get crushed, because, multiplayer encourages offense. If you do anything else, then you're going to wind up in this long slog of a multiplayer game that nobody wants to sit in. And so that just means that, inevitably, real-time strategy games are going to encourage rushes, and they're going to encourage a certain type of risk-taking. So anyways, I'm kind of going on. I'm going on for a bit. But where I just wanted to be clear, right, is that I do sometimes think, if you think about games like Risk of Rain, sometimes a Risk of Rain run, even though you lose, first of all, you lose very fast, right? It's an action game, so there's not the same sort of strategy element as you would see in a game like ZEPHON. But you may suffer a loss, but depending on how you lose, you maybe have unlocked something new. And even a game like Cultist Simulator, which is to a certain extent a roguelike, you're potentially unlocking another type of run. You have potentially gained knowledge that you will employ into your next run. There's a few different things that you might be getting out of failure in the case of Cultist Simulator. It's maybe not a new item in your inventory, but it's definitely you're coming away with something. And so I don't know. I mean, like, I have lost in ZEPHON, but more like I just hit the surrender button and head off. So there is a bit of text at the end. It's actually really grim for the fallen soldier, but keeping in the tone of the game, obviously. But yeah, there's a side of me that kind of wonders if there's a way that you can encourage people to see something through. In this game, based off of the introduction, we had that really interesting surreal moment at the end, which sort of suggests that we're either in some sort of simulation or time loop. And I want to know more about that. So being able to unlock the mutators. And there is a side of me that wonders if there is a similar system either that exists in this game or that another game might implement, which is to encourage you to see the thing through to the end because there is something new that you will get to see or experience for going through. Anyway, that's enough commentary. 15 minutes is long enough to get everybody set up. I have a couple decisions to make. So game visibility, right? I don't know, friends only. I mean, it's not like I'm just going to be playing with myself. They are. I'll actually show you. Yep. Yeah, I'll show you in just a minute. All right, so difficulty. The tutorial was easy. So, I mean, we can move our way up. So modifies AI advantages, moderate city loyalty, disadvantage, -15 loyalty. -15 doesn't sound like moderate to me. That sounds devastating. So recommended for story-focused players, which, I don't know, I kind of am, but I feel like very easy will teach me very bad habits. Easy is what we were playing on because I believe the introduction always does easy. So modifies AI advantages, small city loyalty, disadvantage. Recommended for inexperienced turn-based strategy players. Now, I would argue I am not an inexperienced turn-based strategy player. However, I am an undisciplined turn-based strategy player. So it is actually possible that easy is the level that I should be playing at, but I am, beyond the fact that I want you all to think that, my anatomy is preposterously large. I feel like I can't click the easy button. Medium says modifies AI advantages, no advantage or disadvantage. So this is kind of nice, right? This is the sort of thing where presumably if you're learning bad habits, you're learning bad habits that are based off of an unmodified behavior of the AI. And in this case, it says recommended for turn-based strategy fans. I would probably, consider myself a turn-based strategy fan. And we probably don't need to go, all the way through, but let's see the description. So hard modifies AI advantages, hard small city loyalty and unit level advantage, as was a small increase in AI diplomatic aggressiveness. So 10 loyalty, extra level, 6 aggressiveness. I think what this means is that it's harder to do deals with the AI. Recommended for veterans of proxy studio games. Now, technically, I would consider myself a veteran of Proxy Studios games in the sense that I have put a reasonable amount of time into Gladius, and I think on the medium difficulty, I've got wins on everything except Tyranids, Adeptus Mechanicus, and Dracari. Now, in fairness, that was with a bit of maybe saving and reloading in some cases, but, I have seen those through to the end on of story endings for most of the factions. I actually think I had to do orcs twice because I conquered everything accidentally and then I wanted to get the story win. Very hard. Moderate city loyalty and unit level advantage, as well as a moderate increase in diplomatic aggressiveness. The idea that 30 is somehow a moderate increase is quite intriguing. So the my understanding here is that surplus loyalty will increase production. So of course this means that it is possible if you don't intervene with the AI, it's going to overwhelm you with in terms of production. But if you think about that, if you are successful at allying them, and of course this is where aggressiveness becomes a problem, but if you have what you feel is a good way of maintaining alliances, it can potentially mean that you actually incorporate some of that strength into your own your own alliance system. Ultra hard. Large city loyalty and unit level advantage, as well as a large increase in AI diplomatic aggressiveness, 60 loyalty, 3 levels, 36% aggressiveness, and Nightmare, extreme city loyalty and unit level advantage, as well as an extreme increase in AI diplomatic aggressiveness. So, you know, you are dealing with a production powerhouse that's cranking out units 4 levels higher than you, and chances are it's going to take every opportunity it can to crush you in war. So, and then that is slightly insane that you can randomize the difficulty. I really want to know who the player is that randomizes the difficulty. That's got to be pretty tough. Okay, I'm debating. So the tutorial, if I recall correctly, had one other faction. Sorry, Pugpork, do you own ZEPHON? Sorry, I thought this was new. Sorry, new for the people watching. But wait a minute. So if I go on Nightmare, does that? Okay, yeah. It just sets it for everything. So yeah, one of the things I am debating. Oh, okay, fair enough. Let me just take a quick second here, because I do know under my achievements I got Little Wars, win a game on a tiny map. So there is a slight inclination. Yeah, actually I feel like I should do this for everyone's benefit. There was a new DLC that was released recently. So Pugporg already did the good thing and checked it out. Good on you for doing that, by the way. It's always nice to, you know, obviously people decide what they're interested in playing for themselves, but I think it's cool that people give games a chance based off of what they see on the stream. But that link that I just put in there is the Steam page for ZEPHON. And I'm doing this because the game is currently on sale. It says here daily deal, but offer ends in 41 hours, so seems to me like it's more than a day. But currently it's half off, so Canadian that translates to $24.99. And if you are sufficiently compelled by the offer, you actually have a couple of options. So you can buy ZEPHON Expanded, and in that case, that would be, I believe that is all the gameplay, like all of the DLC that adds new factions. And of course, you get a discount because it's a bundle. And then if you want ZEPHON Complete, that will include a few other items, specifically the digital art book and wallpapers, the soundtrack that you're listening to. And then there's a supporter upgrade, which as far as I can tell, does not actually do anything to change the game, except just, I believe it changes the title screen, like those little yellow decorations on the front. Just mentions that, like, I bought something that is purely to benefit the devs. And then I think, if I recall correctly, this little symbol here is a supporter indicator as well. So basically, if you see this next to someone's name in multiplayer, it means that they're a baller who just like spends money because they can. Okay, so I'm sorry, I wanted to go to the achievement page to see if there is an achievement for a small map. That may not be a bad idea for me to... It says hair carpet maker, win a game on a huge map. A lot of mutators. Yep, space for revelation, win a game on a small, medium, or large map. Wait a minute, hang on. If it's small, medium, or large, there isn't an argument for doing one or the other. Okay, I mean, we can do medium then. Who do we have here? Jopo's Ranic TV? Sorry, I probably messed up that name. Welcome. Yeah, well, I mean, like, Colossal for 12, like, I don't know, let's see how many of these factions. I'm not actually going to do Colossal, like, we'd be here all night, and I'm probably not going to be able to finish this tonight either. I still love the fact that, like, this setting is, like, diverse enough that they're sort of like, screw it, we're adding vampires. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, so even then, we actually have 2 more people than we should do. But yeah, in any case, medium difficulty, medium world side, mid all around is good. Advanced parameters, so at some point I'm probably gonna want to mess around with these. I'm too much of a wimp to play on Iron Man. I feel at this point it's good if I learn to live with consequences. But I do find it more instructive to be able to reload, particularly when I misunderstand how attacks are going to affect my units. I feel that there is a benefit to. I feel like there's a benefit to being able to productively learn from things, just so long as I do. I mean, realistically, if it's, I don't want to live with any consequences and I don't believe in scouting, I should just turn it on to easy. So, like, I need to kind of keep myself a bit honest with it. But again, I don't really want to mess with any of these. At some future point, I may change around escalation pace. Now, I have a feeling here that the lesson I will learn if I do, like, none in terms of escalation pace, what I think this is practically going to do is teach me the bad habit of undervaluing research. So it would seem to me that probably what you want to do is have a fairly fast pace for research to make sure that you're able to handle the big endgame crisis, and that by turning the dial down on the escalation, that you are allowing yourself to be less efficient in terms of how you handle the turns. And I do need to learn, but if I create too much of a sort of a sandbox, or if I create too much of a padded room, then I'm not going to learn some of the hard lessons that I need to potentially learn through losses. So I'll keep these standard. And then this one is interesting. So victory requires defeating NPCs. If defeating the NPCs, Anchorite Chiefess ZEPHON is required to win an elimination victory. I mean, it is a standard. It's a default parameter, so I'm going to hang on to that. I do like the idea of avoiding duplicate random factions. So it'd be kind of boring if it was like 4 fallen soldiers all in the area, and there's enough to go around that I feel I want to see some diversity. Turn timer, I might as well surrender. Oh, that's man, they really let you customize. Okay. I think keeping all this, well, like the single player menu is the same as the like multiplayer menu, right? So I think the turn timer is intended for people who are doing multiplayer games. But you were asking about mutators, Pugporg. So these are all the ones that you can get. It does actually tell you what modifiers it has, but in this case, I could technically go for What Are You? This is the one that I got on Monday, and in fact, it's the one that I got when I first did the introduction, because I've only completed the introduction. And in this case, it says, can only research technologies with your affinity or no affinity. So interestingly enough, this is actually how I played last time anyway. So, I mean, if I want, I can turn it on. But my intention here is to choose a different mutator next time. But I don't know, what is the price of liberties? Liberty leaders all have researched affinities. What's the worth of a human life? Can check the stats screen during the game. I believe if you do that, under normal circumstances, you disable achievements. Was I truly human? Damage is divided between all adjacent tiles of the target unit. Just, again, as they say, mutators, right? And then you can turn on and turn off the DLC. But yeah, in this case, I think just standard medium game. I'll do the Fallen Soldier again because I learned a thing or two about the units in the tutorial. But now we need to implement this in a proper full strength game.
We were not ready for their divine judgment. We were tested, and almost everyone just failed. Their dark mysticism shattered an era of enlightenment and ushered in the dusk of the 21st century. Billions of lives were lost in a heartbeat, turned to ash, and cast away in the wind. Our soldiers were gone, but our weapons kept fighting, driven by an enigma in the networks. Their surviving forces waged a desperate crusade against the machines. We became bystanders to a relentless war. Now our world is an ever-twisting nightmare. Hellish threats lurk in every whisper and shadow. There is no glory, only survival. Deliver us from this trial. Reclaim our world for mankind.
If you don't mind, Jopos, please let me know if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm guessing you have to have come here for ZEPHON. I will say, I just got this game because of the sale. I loved it enough that I bought all the DLC, but I am very, very new to it. So I'm sure you've already noticed that I am extremely talkative. But I'm also going to like really screw up in the game. So I feel like I should give seasoned veterans fair warning that this is probably going to be very painful to watch. All right. Grok, tell me what to think. All right, so it looks like both. No, this one's out of the range, so.
Let's build something great here.
And which tile do we want to acquire? So if we follow what the game had told us before, we want to put down a barracks, but if we're putting down the barracks, it means I don't get the benefit of, oh, interesting, none of these have food bonuses. Okay, I'm going to want to keep that in mind. I think in the name of having the most options, we will build here because it's it's a free 3 spots. We do give up the chips, but we have enough, chip production. I probably want to focus on minerals on this one, but this seems like a good spot to do the initial expansion. Okay. We have a few caches here. So we've got a cyber cache, a void cache, and a void cache, and we have 3 free units. The lesson that we've definitely learned is if I send a unit out on its own, I better be prepared to lose it. And
This
if I
isn't the world I knew.
if I cluster everybody up,
Can't stay here.
that's not a terrible idea.
I'm not dying today.
But it does come at the cost
such
of
thing
being
as safe
able to,
anymore.
to get more. So I think
Yeah, all right.
let's get the goodies first. Okay, so we got some influence.
Disturbing my call.
These guys aren't able to collect the microchip fabricator, so we will grab the
Hang on, need my kit.
nearby void cache. So we've got devotees of Throkos. In this case, we will collect the microchip fabricator, so we get 1 free chips a turn. I think, what does it have? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this won't be in range, I don't think anyway, of a city expansion. I think at most they go 3 tiles.
It's better than just sitting here. Ready for whatever's out there.
And at this point, I might as well... Okay, it's maybe something I want to think about taking on. Let's see... You know what, let's do the research and all that first. So if I recall correctly, the tutorial told me I should get a commander early on. I don't hate that idea, but I could potentially go for specimen containment early and give myself a boost to research. I think I'm going to try that. There may be a fault that I'm not considering. So for instance, there would be an argument also for the automated factory because that gives me research as well. But I think I'll say specimen containment, automated factory, and then probably the commander, unless I feel I have other needs. Okay, so it's telling me to end turn. I'm going to do a quick audit of what I'm up against, just so, and then the notifications here, mostly just so I can have a clear idea in terms of what I'm up against. So we've found the Andean peaks. The Abcluths are discovered. The Akron's creatures, pets or food I never knew, but they got loose from the wreckage of the crash site and made themselves at home here. We couldn't eat them, fundamentally different biologies I hear, but if you didn't hunt them, they'd kill or shred everything that you could eat. So there are 3 of them in a pack, 2 armor, 12 hit points, 4 morale, 4 movement, so these things will chase me down. They bite, so 2 damage, 2 armor penetration, 3 attacks, so 6, but 50% accuracy, so effectively, or sorry, am I getting that right? Yeah, no, so 3 damage all told. 3 damage that has armor penetration too. And it's melee. Agile reduces movement costs of forests and ruins. Survivors who were fast on their feet became the best at hunting prey in rough terrain. Biological, Bleed Walker suffers no damage or movement penalty in bleed, plus 2 hit points for each turn in bleed. I think this is only for me. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we want to take these things seriously, but they are, as long as we can do enough damage, right? So if we've got our assault rifle, we're doing 3 a turn, as long as I have, I mean, in theory, right, if I have 4 units to bear down on this, then we're able to, hang on, that wouldn't be true because I don't have the armor penetration. But we get twice the attacks, so I guess in that case, we'd probably need 3 units to take it down.
Looking for something?
Anyway, neither here nor there. What else are we up to? We've got the Hymn of Decay. So this will cost us algae to maintain. So deals damage on a target tile. Creates a Hymn of Decay on that target tile for 3 turns. Deals damage each turn. I will be paying an algae if I want to hang on to it. When I first felt the toxic touch of this tortured hymnal, I assumed there was a strategic reason for poisoning the earth like this. But after so many battles, there had to be more to it. Was it spiritual? Or was it an act of childish spite, doomed aliens lashing back at our world for daring to resist their apocalyptic mission? I don't like the idea of having something that's eating my resources for no reason, and I tend to hoard this stuff, so we'll do some early damage on these guys. And then I'll just be able... They'll probably move, but, you know, I'm probably going to be able to get some units in the area to put the hurt on the Abklus. Survivor's Bazaar. There were plenty of opportunists, idealists, and swindlers who drew people, and swindlers who drew people to them in the wastelands. What always surprised me was that these canny leaders never took up arms. Some of them could have led armies to victory. Instead, they brought everyone together. So damage reduction, healing. This is just for having an outpost. We gain influence if we have the expedition outfitter, 2 influence per turn, and yeah, okay. And then bonus trade gains. So that's one I want to pick up, although obviously we're getting a healthy amount of influence already. Swamp, all kinds of life made its home in the swamps. If you could handle the humidity, you'd be able to find plenty of food to keep your army on its feet. Experienced trackers knew to watch for muddy terrain. If you let your feet sunk in too far, you were easy picking for any hunters on your tail. Devotees of Throkos. Sometimes on scouting runs, we'd see voice cultists mutilating their bodies to meet their gods. The Thrakos freaks, I watched through binoculars as they swallowed plates full of mutated insect eggs. Vile, nasty shit. Looked like ritual suicide. Until I saw the bugs burst back out of their bodies. Not suicide, rebirth. As bugs, the lowest kind of life form. So this is a Midnight Chorus unit. So 6 of them, they have no armors, 18 hit points, so reasonably strong. And they have Mangled Chele? I'm not good at pronunciation. So, looks like 2 attacks and 6 of them. So in principle, 12 armor piercing, but only 50% accuracy. Distance 2, so practically 6 armor piercing for a full unit. Of course, not a bad idea to get the commander nearby. Oh, that's why these insects wanted human flesh, using human bodies as bone factories, sharpening rib cages and cartilage into projectiles. I screamed when a fractured femur slammed into the head of my driver one day. Outrider started spinning out of control and I just lost it. She didn't deserve to die that way. Good Lord. Cull the Weak. 50% damage against units below 50% hit points. Apex predators hunt the most vulnerable to feed and survive. Throkos' servants, monsters, creations were bottom feeders, peeling the scum off our forces so that Uzodai or Sorothai's flesh-rending nightmares could target the bigger fish. Like ecosystems they teach you about in school, but gorier. Alright, well I'm glad these are on my side. In influence, city discovered, urban warfare is brutal. Every piece of cover that protects your troops feels like it gives double the shielding to your enemy. I prefer defending cities under siege than street-to-street fighting. In a siege, you felt solidarity with civilians and other soldiers. In the streets, you could only trust your squad. Anyone else might sell you out. River, every predator on Earth knew that if you find your prey at their that you will find your prey at their weakest when they search for water. And prey species knew that when they seek water, they risk being hunted. You do well to make yourself the predator, but if you find yourself as the prey, remember that crossing the rushing water will slow down most hunters. Water still coursed through the planet's arteries and was still the key vessel in making life. Even the cybernetic creatures of our new world needed water-cooled facilities. A grim tragedy, then, that all the warring factions respected the waterways, our escalating conflict would poison them for future generations. Corrupted defrag attempts. Oh, that's the name of the region. Bleed. The voice's tendrils bled out from one reality into our own, prying open a door to madness. These should not have plagued our Earth. Their sickly, slimy extremities reached out in search of flesh or metal to ensnare. I can't even escape the sight of them in my sleep. Some nights, often on a full moon, I wake sweating, still feeling the phantom pull of them dragging me to Earth. I assume this was all in my head, but I've heard the whispers in the mess hall. Others dream of being crushed too. Road discovered. The first The first night after we got our first roads constructed, I hopped in an Outrider and drove for miles. Burned too much gas just to get the feel of the wind running through my hair, feeling the tires grip the asphalt as I took the turns. I didn't want to go back to the war. I just wanted to drive forever. Ruins. Earth that was, the old world, the before times. There were plenty of ways to refer to life before the Akron. None of them could sum up what it felt like to gaze on the ruins and daydream about what it was like before. Soon children will be born with no memory of this place. I don't know if I envy them or not. I can't imagine fighting without this sadness in me. Microchip fabricator. ZEPHON's microchip manufacturing process relied on a decentralized network. There was a brief period where we thought capturing enough of these fabricators would draw its attention. But why would it care? If one fabricator went offline, it could manufacture a new one at a safe distance away, its production queue barely interrupted. Cybercache. Machines don't need to squirrel away supplies, and they sure as hell don't leave anything behind when they abandon a base. So what were these doing out in the wastes? Was someone or something experimenting on us? Dispensing supplies to see how it changed in the face of the war? All these years, and I still don't know who's behind them. Crystal Basin. Mineral-rich mining hubs didn't just make for good resource hubs, they also provided plenty of cover. We learned to build fortresses in regions like these and use them to harden our borders. Sure, they became high-value targets when our enemies wanted to hit our supply lines, but to lay the best traps, you need the best bait. Now, one thing I want to note here, right, is we get the 2 minerals per turn, but then we get a 200% bonus inside the city. So I'll show why that's important. So it takes me 2 turns, 5 minerals, and 5 influence to be able to acquire a tile. In contrast, once I get this tile, it will take me 20 minerals, 1 energy, and 4 turns to be able to generate 6 minerals. So if I acquire this tile, admittedly, it's not 6, or actually, is it? I think it is actually 6, because with 2 minerals a turn and then 4 minerals a turn, presumably, that's it. It did say 200%. I hope that's true. Anyways, this is the fastest way for me to increase my mineral production. Maybe I want to build the barracks first, but as soon as I feel that I need minerals, I want to prioritize that above everything else. And again, that has knock-on effects, right? That's a power plant I don't need to build because I'm, I have 1 more energy, etc., etc. Voice cache. It was no secret who left these caches behind. Akron wanderers, desperate to survive on the ruins of Earth, were a common enough occurrence. It felt good to take something back from them, even if it was one of their troops. Making their resources a part of our war effort was just more mud in their eye. They tried to kill us, we survived. Now we eat from their table. Oops. Brush. You'd find small creatures feeding on plants out in the grasslands, bigger mammals feeding on the creatures, and so on and so on. If we had more time, we could have worked carefully to place ourselves in that cycle. Instead, we disrupted it, forced ourselves into it. An army marches on its stomach, and we had bellies to fill. Forest. The last day I ever thought of the forest as safe, I was camped up by a creek, scratching out battle plans in the dirt. Then there was the crack of a branch. I was too slow to react. My spotter was cut down by gunfire from the opposite bank. There was no solace in the trees after that, only 1,000 rustling branches that disguised the sound of enemy movement. Arctic. The frigid wastes of old Earth were now home to the snow-white abcluth that hyper-evolved to hunt in a new environment. We still stuck out here for one vital reason. This terrain gave our techs an optimal environment to do their research. Low humidity and temperatures combined with clear sight lines made weapons testing far more efficient, they said. Maybe they just preferred the cold. Arc discharge. Do you know what this was? ZEPHON's wiring ran under everything, everywhere, miles and miles of raw copper. These arcs were a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of ZEPHON's power lashing out at you. You could take advantage of that power if you wanted, but your enemies could too, although you still get the higher damage. Rocks. Mining stone from the earth is one of the first indications of civilization. Too bad the terrain made it hard to build civilization in regions like this. I was grateful we didn't have to move stone like our ancestors did, but guarding supply runs to and from the mines always made me nervous. Construct. ZEPHON must have needed an inconceivable amount of power to wage its war against the Akron. The text guessed that if fossil fuels or renewables were being quickly taken offline, it would react by building zones like these to generate new power-efficient resources. If you got far enough into one of these zones, you'd start to think that the planet was now one giant machine. Alright, we've been patient enough. New turn. Oh no, they found us. That's great. These guys are good at taking on little guys.
This isn't the world I knew.
Shallow foundations. Your troops are arrayed, silent. You walk along the lines, blade in hand, carving morsels off yourself and handing them out. You have briefed them with the little you know about your rebirth, said that you are no messiah. Wherever your regeneration came from, heaven, hell, or the distant stars, a soldier uses every advantage to survive in this ruined world. When the last person has taken your quivering flesh, you signal. With a sullen grinding, the city gate opens. Out there, humanity waits to be saved. Whatever else you are still human. So, one question I would have is there wisdom in trying to delay a confrontation with this thing for the 4 turns so I can take advantage of specimen containment? I'm not really inclined to do that here, so I will say no. This is a little inconvenient for me placement-wise. I do run the risk of finding the vehicle here, but I do want to do some exploration. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move up. We're definitely going to fire this now. That's almost enough, but not quite. So as nice as it would be to heal this thing.
Check sights. Sight set. What's over there? Hell.
Woohoo! Nice knowing you guys.
We can't stay here.
Okay.
Shifting gears.
So I made the wrong call trying to find the Abkloof.
We'll make it through. We have to.
Ah, this is convenient. I didn't think that Foxslayer would have the range.
This isn't the world I knew.
So under normal circumstances, I would maybe try to get the construct, but I think it's pretty clear that we're going to have some fighting up here. So at this point, I do want to make sure that I'm not leaving this unit out in the open against the rider.
Okay.
Oh, that was a bad call, actually. So the problem here is that I'm going to have to unpack them. I thought they would just sit on the tile, not that they would go inside the city. So that's going to keep them out of the fight. But anyways, that's fine. Choices are consequences. Another Hymn of Decay. Interesting. Okay. How long does this last? Both of these can move pretty fast. It would have been nice if I could fire that at the enemy in that region, but Icon of Vorodai discovered. That time the voice cultists had me captive. They kept me prisoner in one of these shrines to Vorodai, used me as bait, slaughtered the troops sent to rescue me and sacrificed to their god, then tossed the bodies in the algae pools when they were finished. So this would normally be, the problem here is, actually no, if it's half a point, taking the icon would be enough for me to keep these hymns in my inventory. Actually, this reminds me a little bit of the Bone Temple from 28 years later, which I haven't seen, but I've seen the clip of, if you haven't seen it, Ralph Fiennes playing the devil is very amusing. Scramblers. You see one scrambler roar by. It just seems like a fool with a death wish, an organ donor in waiting. But when a second one follows, a third, a fourth, a fifth, something changes about the sight. It's not a death wish. They found freedom together, on steeds with 2 wheels and 500 horsepower. Biomech bikers that excel at weaving in and out of combat. There's 3 of them, 4 armor, 18 hit points. They are armed with miniguns, 1.5, 1 armor piercing, 3 rounds each, so that's 4.5. No. It's 4.5, then times 3 again would be 15.5. And then cut that in half, so 7.75. That's a lot of damage, though. The big long barrel of a minigun will make any hot-blooded sergeant-at-arms excited, but all the enthusiasm goes away when you have the oil to clean and when you have to oil and clean every single damn barrel. Miniguns are a weapon for the patient, the caring, the ones who will put in the work to spray 10,000 cartridges at 2,000 rounds per minute. This feels like a very, very strong weapon. Hit and run. Consumed movement for actions. Oh, I get it. You can fire and then move. Soldiers and criminals have more in common than you'd think. Crooks know that if you stand still, the authorities will snatch you up. Soldiers know if you freeze at the sound of gunfire, you'll get a bullet to the head. No settling down, no getting close to anyone, just always being on the move. Okay. We already know the Cassiel Shredders, they get better the fewer than they are, and they do some meaningful damage. Alright, let's see how this goes. I want to be careful with this. Like, we can do a fair chunk of damage, but... Ooh! Well, bad luck for me. Okay, this isn't the world I knew. This isn't hard. Again, we're missing all these opportunities to get science out of it, but I don't. It's hard for me to be sold on the idea of holding back. Now, I should have been moving to the right a lot sooner, but I think in this case we probably need a presence in the north. Equally importantly, I don't think the sharpshooters are the right ones for that. Sorry, I just got to sneeze. Excuse me. So, like, naively, I'd want to do this, but I suspect I get stopped if I go in this area. And based off of the damage that the bikes seem to do, I'm pretty uncomfortable risking my sharpshooters like that. So I think I'll move them off to this side. I still want to claim, and in this case we'll stand and heal. Okay. Barracks first, and then we're gonna claim... Actually, we can claim the tile. Desert discovered. Open plains and stable weather made the desert a remarkably stable environment for generating electricity. But it gave our workers one hell of a hostile environment to work in. Dehydration could take down humans and aliens alike, and sandstorms did particularly nasty work to machines.
Ready for whatever's out there.
Yeah, so I think we actually would have healed all of the damage that we took if we weren't sitting in the... him. Now, what I'm going to do here, because ruins still keep me safe, I'm going to get a little bit closer to this objective that I want to take, while we're still going to, you know, work down the enemy.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
Now, I imagine at this point we're going to run into the bikes.
We'll make it through. We
Ah,
have to.
okay. So, oh, interesting. So there are extra attacks against this unit for being, or is it because they own it?
This isn't the world I knew.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I'm in the wrong spot to make the magic happen.
Making tracks.
Hang on, need my kit.
Kill them before they kill us! Yeah, alright.
Now, the real question is, do I want to keep trying to... Honestly, at 16 of 19, we'll be at 17 just because of my... because of the not leave no man behind undying, so I feel we can be a little more aggressive in our movement.
We can't take much more of this!
Okay, good. Now,
I'm not dying
this is
today.
risky.
It's better than just sitting here.
I am going to take the icon.
Hey, boss is speaking.
Okay.
Ain't no such
We
thing
could
as safe
potentially take...
anymore.
So this is actually where it gets hard, right? If I wait one turn, then I get the extra research. So
Fine. Whatever keeps us alive.
I'm going to get people in position.
Yeah, got it.
I imagine they will attack rather than move on. Actually, hang on, no. If they're smart, they'll attack and then they'll buzz off. But again, they're not able to kill this unit, so I'm willing to run the risk.
Status.
Disturbing my call.
No turning back.
So Shaken's good because we'll do extra damage. This is taking a lot of time, right? This is coming at the expense of exploration. But again, we also have the benefit of specimen containment. Yeah.
Looking for something?
We once had an Abcluth contained in a prototype specimen container at a field outpost. It was pacing the confined space, slamming itself into the walls at random intervals. I thought it was trying to escape, until a pack of Abcluths swarmed our camp, devouring a group of helpless techs. It had been signaling to its pack. We soundproofed the containers after that. Okay, so do I want an automated factory, or do I want a command? I think we probably need the commander at this point.
One for the road, two for the grave.
Now, I
This isn't the world I knew.
have a couple decisions to make, so let's go as deep as we can into the...
Check sights.
All right.
Sight set.
So I've got all my work ahead of me in terms of taking on these bikes.
Making tracks.
Ooh,
Hang on, need my kit.
bad luck. So I'm not going to get the damage
Silhouette mark.
bonus that I get for being close to these guys.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
I imagine this will sting, or apparently not. Sandstorm discovered. Armor could block the sand, scanners could penetrate the darkness, but nothing could protect your mind from the wrath of it all. Lightning, sand, and wind all blurred together, and the earth roared in vengeance. It knew about the violence we'd brought to its surface, and this storm was its way of fighting back. Man, it really wants to take these guys out. I also want to know... Oh, cool. So this thing on net is actually healing faster than... It's not in bleed. Oh, it's got regeneration. My god. Okay.
Ready for whatever's out there.
I'm not dying today.
I'm gonna move
Yeah, alright.
this unit
Hey, boss is
up.
speaking. Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine.
The anchorite. Merciful potentate, war divides us, yes, but to beg a moment. To be the eldest remaining of Akron, to follow prophecy and bring cleansing torch to your world, to all life remains the threat, to know our failure, to now face extinction. To know that you are chosen, blessed, to not have seen such integrity of rebirth in 10 eons, of life, to wonder. Your standing with anchorite has increased because of undying. To know your suffering for your people, to worry for my own, to beg for calm. Your high standing has had a major impact on this decision. I will accept peace because I'd rather focus on building myself up. We may want to fight later, but yeah, once you've fought as many wars as me, seen friends turn to meat, bone, and gristle, yeah, you'd take peace too. To never forget, a grave threat grew on this planet, to call Akron across time and space, to fail to prevent it. I don't think they'll be available. Okay. To welcome, offer a trade agreement. To thank you, to know the Akron have little, to give you past millennia of gratitude. Your high standing had a major impact on this decision. You have entered a trade agreement, and your standing with the anchorite has increased. I actually don't 100% know what the trade agreements do. I should probably look that up. Let's offer a map exchange that might further increase the disposition. If we put our heads together, we can make sense of this crazy torn-up world we used to call home. What do you say? To know easy, to lack wisdom, though, to be your downfall. Their limited world knowledge had a major impact on this decision. You and the anchorite have exchanged all explored tiles. And I need allies. Hell, you do too. Will you work with me? With us? You are too focused on wars of false consequence. We must save our forces to fight the ultimate foe. Their lack of affection for you had a major impact on this decision. Okay, well, that was an okay round. So let's go to the compendium and see if we can find out about trade agreements. Okay. I actually don't know what the diplomacy rates are. It feels like it'd be the sort of thing that would be covered in the tips, because I know it did encourage me to do a trade agreement. Okay, well, we'll wait for another negotiation. You know, it's obviously it would be helpful to get some clarity on that, but not you know, nothing's going to change until I
Hey, boss is speaking.
until I run into another faction. All right, we've got a few tooltips to read here. The fog discovered. It was a death trap. They sent us in anyway. Even when pierced by our lanterns, the fog crept in through our orifices and made our insides burn. The acrid and the mist taunted us from a distance, laughing at how the mildewy air that made them glow with power was making us choke on our own bile. So deals damage to enemy units. Advanced voice cache. High-value Nacrin caches literally fell from the sky. In the aftermath of the destruction of their fleet, we watched debris descend from orbit on a daily basis, sometimes dropping supplies or survivors right on our border. Finding these caches should have been a relief, but it was just a reminder about the great metal graveyard swooping above our heads, raining down debris that might kill us all. Advanced human cache. It was grim finding precious treasure troves like these. Sure, we'd pick up some much-needed resources or find welcome reinforcements, but there was always questions about how something so valuable was left out in the open. Who would abandon such vital goods? And if something killed them, was it still out there? Colonizers end. Ah! I wish I knew what I just canceled, but... Oh, actually, how much you want to bet it's the fragment of the fulcrum? Nope. I wonder... Alright, well, it's not... It's probably not a good use of my time to try and find that. Although I wonder if the compendium will show me... Was it ruins? That can't be it. Cortex? No. We already did construct. All right, well, I'm hoping I have the presence of mind to look for it, because, of course, the point of one is just, learning a little bit more of the setting, but equally importantly, I want to try and understand the effects of the various tiles. All right, Erebus Excavator. The Warlord and the Chiefess were the only ones who could tell me how pre-war excavators ended up over chip deposits. He claimed they walked around the land like mighty beasts. She said she watched ZEPHON's machine haul them into position. I think he was drunk. Whispering Whites. Everyone had a different story about what caused the nightmarish whispering out in the wasteland. Some said it was the wails of humans killed by the fulcrum. Others said it was warnings about the future from another dimension. Funny, even monsters with more eyes than limbs shrank in terror when the soft-speaking voices appeared in thin air. Recycling tanks, disgusting stuff. Voice cults eking out a pathetic living in the waste built by these facilities to manufacture more algae. No need to build graveyards when you could just dump bodies and viscera into a toxic pit that turned out a vile meat slush. I kept a particle mask on while visiting sites like this. Phase generator. The first time I crossed paths with a watchmaker, she was running maintenance on one of these generators. We argued about who should be allowed to control them. You're here to win a war, I'm here to stop the next one, she said. We cut a deal. If we funneled some energy to the watchmakers, they'd activate the shielding to protect our people. Grave of an Empire, cicadas. Look, I don't make the rules. Bugs were rich in protein and easy to cook into larger meals. Some of our people had lived in pre-war countries where cicadas were regularly on the menu. Catching them kept our people's bellies fed, and anyone who complained, well, they had two choices: starve or swallow their pride. I'm still not 100% sure why it affects the healing rate, but... Wasteland. The Akron didn't think of these as wastelands. They must have been thrilled when they found their precious algae grew naturally and took over some Earth environments. This is what they wanted to do to our whole planet. We made the most of it. We had to win a war, after all, but I made plans to burn every algae site to the ground when it all ended. Sorry, just give me a quick minute while I load something up. Sorry, I realize the silence is not super... I just need to make sure that I've got the right... Okay, I think we're good. Volcanic. After the fulcrum cracked the tectonic plates apart, there was volcanic activity across the globe, way more than the shot itself caused. A new researcher had a decent theory. ZEPHON could now access rare metals near the Earth's core, and it was mining down there. Smart kid. I hope she makes it. Fragment of the Fulcrum. Akron's stories about the Fulcrum didn't mention how its guts were lined with teeth, eyes, skin. I wanted to stay the hell away from the parts that hit Earthside. Whatever weird energy it was pumping into our world made them too valuable to pass up. Veins of the Fulcrum. Liquid always oozed out of the Fulcrum fragments, supercharged high-end resources. No one knew its origins. Humans guessed it produced fuel for the journey to Earth. Machines would babble about radiant biomachines meant for terraforming. Voice cultists, they were scared, said it wasn't a gift from their gods, more like a curse from something darker. Okay. So,
Isn't the world I knew.
Status.
Disturbing my call.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. I'm not dying today.
so we can split this up. I definitely want to get colonizers end before the Akron do. That'll deny them the resource. And then if we can get the phase generator and the human cache, so much the better. Although we should expect to find sort of enemy units at some point. I also need to reinforce the Outrider, because if I do less than 2 damage a turn, I'm effectively healing the bad guy. Like, we recover more than it damages us, so we're fine. Okay, yeah. So we basically do 0.3 damage a turn. This is obviously a really good reason to move our troops in.
Check sights.
Sight set.
Okay.
This isn't the world I knew.
Hey, boss is speaking.
So I'm gonna, in this case, I'm going to take the damage from the bleed. Okay, that food will come in handy. We're actually currently at 0, so
Wait, I just...
I am gonna want to try and improve the food production at some point. Akron Zealots. Pity the grunts. One day they learned about the Zealots. Akron, who could walk into one patch of bleed tendrils and emerge from another. Next thing, every bleed hub had a bunch of idiot soldiers hunkered outside it. Like the Akron were just going to walk into their bullets. Jesus, where do we find these people? Biological bleed walkers with crippling melee weapons and the ability to teleport between bleed tiles. This, I seem to recall, most of the Akron units, like when I'm playing the Fallen Soldier, I actually really struggle with them. So there's 6 of them, 2 armor, 18 hit points, pretty good morale. So they have a Falx, which 1 attack, 2 damage, 2 armor piercing, but of course 50%, so 6 damage. A Zealot's Falx fetched a decent price on the black market. Other Akron wouldn't touch them, told us that each Falx was bound to its owner, and that if the Zealot still lived, they'd do anything, even drag you into the void to get their blades back. And Sika, so in this case it would seem that it's 3 damage, but it applies Cripple. Now I'm gonna guess that maybe both of these apply in an attack. Crippling applies Cripple to non-Titan enemy for 1 turn, minus 67% movement. I snatched up a Zealot's blood-soaked blade. We needed to evac, and I was willing to try anything. Maybe my blood could open a door into the bleed. I pressed it against my open wound where my ear used to be, and held it up to the patch of wriggling alien tendrils. They reached out and hovered around the blade, but nothing happened. My heart sank. We were going to die because my blood wasn't good enough for a plant from beyond the stars. Biological, bleed walker, leave no man behind. It doesn't actually say anything about the teleport. So I wonder if that's poetic. I mean, it says the ability to teleport, but that doesn't actually seem to be... Oh. Yeah, here we go. Now, I failed to notice that they captured the phase generator here, so like I can move into it, but I won't capture it because we're at peace.
Check sights.
Sight set. Making tracks.
Hang on, need my kit.
Looking for something? Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Drive! One for
Oh,
the
that's
road,
good to know.
2 for the grave.
So we'll be doing extra damage
This
now that they're
isn't
broken.
the world I knew.
The question is, do I want to dedicate a soldier? I kind of have to if we're going to have... Like, these guys finish off. These are the frontline guys, so maybe we'll reunite at the cache, and then we can decide where the next move is. Abcan. If this monster had wings, we might have called it a dragon. It lurked in hostile environments, greedily hoarding precious resources. It even had the breath of a dragon, only it burned its victims with ice instead of fire. If you killed one, you didn't linger near its lair. Rumors had it that days after death, the beast would rise again. So I'll skip over the description here just because we didn't do this last time, but Abcan built their nests with the sharpened trunks of pine trees. We asked Akron hunters how we could flush them out and learned on their world that Akron would slowly advance into the nest using pikes. Hunts could last for days at a time. We didn't have time for that shit. Cannon fire would work much faster. Volcano, the Akron's opening salvo with that damned fulcrum cracked open the earth and shifted the tectonic plates. The battlefield was littered with massive volcanoes on every continent, towers of burning air, ash, and fire that cooked good soldiers alive. Fire, word sped quickly about the Battle of the Castic Plain. Our forces staged an assault to take control of a water reserve from the enemy. Shots were fired, the wind was high, the ground was dry as kindling. Inside of an hour, a wildfire surrounded both armies. They should have stopped fighting, worked together to douse the flames, but instead hundreds were killed and the fresh water poisoned, never to be drunk again. Alright, we've got a barracks, which means we can start pushing out militants. Now again, keep in mind that militants have a food upkeep, so I'm going to want to... I have enough runway to kind of keep me going for a while, but the question is, like, when do I want to do that, right? So we've got 2 turns to acquire the tile. I think we build the greenhouse farm next. And I may actually want to acquire another tile depending on... Yeah, because if I'm going to do the... if I'm going to do the automated production... I probably want to put it there so I get the bonuses to both the minerals and the research. I'm not going to be sad about an Akron unit being damaged.
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
It's better than just sitting here.
Again, I don't necessarily want these to be frontline units, but...
Okay. Open fire!
So in theory, I don't actually need both, but this thing's almost certainly going to run. Actually. I was going to try and cut off the escape, but I can only move into this open area, and then presumably I expose myself to the Abcan, so we'll just chase this thing down when it runs. Atmospheric Anchor. More watchmaker tech. They insisted they made these to harvest power in regions where warm air smashed into cold air, but I think they didn't know their own people. Someone in their ranks knew it could be a weapon, and that someone kept their mouth shut instead of speaking up. Busters. The Reavers refused to be left behind in an arms race. As we built stronger armor, they scavenged more powerful weapons to break through it. Some found a particular love for fire. They would strike our flanks like a blazing hot wind, lobbing incendiary grenades that melted our troops to the bone. They wanted us to know that all of the until all of them were slaughtered, they would always be a threat. Okay, Fox Slayer's grown. Dream Eater discovered. We call these things Dream Eaters, but they really fed on our souls. They knew exactly where the human brain was where in the human brain was the fine line between chemicals and consciousness. If you drew close, they would grab you, rip open your skull, find that line, and drink in everything that made you truly alive. So large single unit, 24 hit points. Jagged Cradle, so 8 damage, 6 armor penetration, but 50% accuracy, so expected damage of 4. Horrifying, -2 morale to an attacked enemy, but it's a melee attack. Dream Eaters wanted to draw you close and leave you on the verge of a nightmare. Nightmares tasted the best to them. They drew up the subconscious, the very thing that made you, right to the surface. That was one of the cleanest ways to rip your soul from your body. And Mind Break, 3 damage, 3 armor penetration, 3 attacks, but at 50%, so not 4.5. Horrifying, a range of 2. The human mind can be surprisingly resilient. It took a creature as powerful as the Dream Eater to do any damage to it at a distance. If you aren't ready, an assault like this will reduce you to a screaming wreck, a pile of meat and pain, ready to be ingested by a monster from another world. Agile, biological, hovering. Large, leave no... Okay. Phantasm. Interesting. 33% invulnerable damage reduction. So these things are quite tough. Dream Prison. Applies Dream Prison to target broken non-headquarters unit. Changes control... Oh, wow. Okay. 30 militants, 2 missile teams, a Praetorian. That's how many I killed while the Dream Eater took over my mind. I told Command I was brainwashed and had no memory of it, but that was a lie. It fed me a vision of hunting deer in the woods, downing them, stalking them, skinning them, for each one screaming for help as I plunged a knife in its ribs. Alright, those things are no joke. I've actually done fights against them, but I definitely came underarmed looking at some of these. And Reavers. Desperation drove some of our people to terrible ends. In what might have been humanity's last hours, they traded theirs away for better odds of staying alive in the wasteland. Their bodies walked the earth, but the people inside them faded away with every passing day. I think these are the ones with like revolvers and machetes, yeah. All right. Oh, that's potentially convenient.
Hey, boss is speaking.
All right, the commander. We'd hoped that the commanders were the best of us, that they didn't skulk away behind the front lines. Excuse me, they were out in front risking everything, talking to the refugees, fighting the horrors, equipping them with exoskeletons improved their combat performance, but also did a hell of a lot for morale. Okay, I think I said I was going to do an automated factory. I do also need to consider a research laboratory, but I need to make sure that I can produce. These don't have the close quarters fire.
Disturbing my calm.
So it is a shame for some reason I can't hit the...
Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine.
All right, that works for me.
This isn't the world
I was hoping to get a little closer, but...
We have to. Weapons free.
Oh! Didn't realize there were Reavers, or Busters there.
I'm not dying today.
Alright, that thing's on the run.
Can't stay here.
And we can take it out, so...
Shifting gears.
Oh!
Get some lead in them. That won't be the last of them.
Alright, well, I do want to get the Survivor's Bazaar, but... this is all science. And here we definitely want to build a commander. Isham Enforcers. A soldier's broken body was just the foundation for a better weapon. Paralyzed? They shunted your spine. Missing limbs? They'd give you something better. Pretty soon they were standardizing the replacement parts and just outfitting the soldiers with them, whether they needed them or not. They've got laser guns, 1.5, and one armor piercing, 6, and 67 for accuracy, though. So, what are we looking at there? 6, 9, 2/3, so 6. A laser gun fires in a straight line from A to B. There's no bullet drop, no wind resistance, nothing. Soldiers used to complain that they took the art out of aiming. Luckily, we were still students in the art of killing. In time, these became some of our favorite tools of the trade. Okay, and we're doing pretty well for minerals, so we want to keep running that out. Now, if I can get into some kind of cover, that would be good. We definitely need to pull these guys back for healing. Oh no! That sucks. We'll be getting a replacement, just... That's obviously a big loss.
Hey, boss is speaking.
Okay, so one of the ways I want to handle this is to take advantage of the... of like this creature's ability.
Sight set.
I wish I had better cover, but I don't think I can get cover. And well, no, we can go here.
Sure, fine.
No. And yet, for some reason, I'm able to cover that distance. Nope, I see it. God damn it. How badly do these things hit? Because, I mean, one of the things I can do, right, is hit the buster. Yeah, you know what? I'm going for it. It's not great, right? This thing's gonna take it in the teeth, but... Hammerheads. Hammerheads were powerful, if incoherent, tools. Once provoked into combat, they'd pick a target and batter it repeatedly, with each blow more powerful than the last. Perversely, when at peace, these machines were like robotic gardeners, specialized in eradicating the bleed of the voice. 5 of them, 15 HP, laser gun, so we already know what that's like. Flying, hammerhead protocols, only attacks when provoked if neutral, can capture outposts. Applies hammerhead target to attacked enemy for 2 turns, which will increase the damage taken from hammerheads. Why did ZEPHON make a weapon that would never shoot first? Was it to teach us a lesson? Were we an experiment? For all we knew, this could have been a happy accident, something it was content to let our best minds puzzle over. And apparently it can eradicate bleed.
Looking for something?
Alright, not sure I really want to... I don't exactly want to move up like this, even though it would mean getting the cash.
For the road, 2 for the grave.
Now, presumably they'll turn their attention towards the soldiers here, but I can live with that. Okay, this could potentially get bad for these guys. Good God. That really sucks. I didn't appreciate. So what I should have done was used recon. That's a huge loss for me.
Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine.
Go to glass.
I could have just signed these guys up for death, but I'm going to do my best here. So obviously there's no replacing that unit that I just lost.
Yeah, alright.
It's going to take us a while to get these units in here. So my hope here is that I have enough time and that we've got the enemy, like the zealots in here, I'm hoping that these two will sort of like keep each other busy while I try and snap off a couple of shots.
Stay here.
But I've played this area up here very poorly. One of the reasons why I'm disinclined towards reloading is that in the end, the biggest reason I'm suffering these losses is because I didn't properly scout out the area, and I put my people at risk in order to gain very, very short-term benefits. So in my opinion, that's the sort of thing that I can't reasonably... Yeah, see, it's the same mistake all over again. All right. I don't like that I'm doing this. I think I've learned my lesson. I'm just trying to decide if it's turn... I think it's turn 12 I gotta go back to. I'm gonna try and keep that. Oh wow, I lost that guy really early on. So, lesson learned. I'm not allowed to do that again if I keep making bad decisions.
Check sights.
So,
Sights set.
what I am curious about is if I had used my scan, I have... Nope, I wasted that.
I'm not dying today. Fine. Whatever keeps us alive.
Looking for something? Drive.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
No turning back.
Kill them before they kill us!
It won't be the last of them.
This isn't the world I knew.
Okay, this creates a small complication.
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
I think my best chance to get the
On time.
damage bonus would be these guys. Yeah, we can wipe them out. Ugh. All right. I feel a little salty about this because... Actually, you know what? I thought I was moving straight to this area.
I'm not
Clearly I
dying
wasn't.
today. Okay.
I actually wanted to go here, not here, but...
Hostiles!
So I'm a little worried that the busters are gonna eat me up again.
Ready for whatever's out there. No turning
Oh,
back.
I screwed up. I should have gone up here.
This isn't the world I knew.
So I'm gonna take some unnecessary damage because I'm not in cover.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Point me to the front lines.
Cries for help, an intermittent radio signal, faint distant voices, and the sounds of gunfire. A small group of human survivors has got bogged down in the wilds and is in dire need of help. They beg, demand, threaten. Your soldiers know this group. They are fierce fighters known as splenetics, and will be a great help if we can reach them. But if we ignore them, they will never forget it and will hold a grudge as long as they live. Promise to help, you take the radio mic from your aide and personally assure the survivors that help is on the way. Now you just have to stick to your word. Can your troops get to them in time? The route is tangled. The enemy is numerous and the splenetics are far off. Now that you've promised to help, if you fail, who knows what they'll do if they survive. I mean, that's not that far away, but we are certainly in for an adventure.
Get some lead in 'em.
This isn't the world I knew. On it.
So in my opinion, we need to move the militia down here, even though we've got a bit of a fight going on. I want to get this thing back into cover.
Check sights.
Sight set.
Seems like a good reason to move in here for lots of reasons. I'm a little worried about the fact that the Abkluths may take the atmospheric
No
anchor.
such thing as safe anymore.
The other thing I'm a little worried... You know what? Okay, sorry. I'm going to be cheesy. I'm going to save the game at this point. I'm going to move them up to capture the cache. Yeah, I thought so.
Enemy!
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
This isn't the world I knew.
Gauntlet of Ruin.
I'm not dying today.
Sorry. So, yeah, lesson is don't
Ain't no such thing as
don't
safe
mess with
anymore.
these guys.
Yeah, got it.
I have options, but I need to be thoughtful in terms of how I fire against these
We'll make
guys.
it through. We have to.
Okay, they're going to start firing on us now. Although these guys should be able to wipe them out.
This isn't the world I knew. I'm not dying today. It's better than just sitting here.
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
Okay.
Nice brand new units. It'd be a shame if something happened to them.
Wait, I just...
Keep up.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
Missile teams. Plenty of militants were eager to pilot anti-armor bots far from the battlefield, but resentment grew quickly between the missile operators and frontline grunts. The solution? We docked rations every time the missile team pilots tripped their drones or missed a shot. It was better if they hated us, not each other. Okay, I should put some thought into doing the remaining recovery. I think on this one,
New roads.
this one should be a no-brainer.
This isn't the world I knew.
Can't stay here.
I'm not dying today. Yeah, all right. Contact!
If anything, this actually frees up the Outrider to do its movement.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. It's better
I'm
than
gonna head
just sitting
south so
here.
we can get the bonus for attacking the Abcan. That is a lot of... Yikes.
We can't take much more of this.
We might have lost these. Man, I really... I really don't learn. At this point, I'm gonna have to learn to accept. I'm gonna have to learn to accept the consequences of my actions. Another classic problem of warfare. Whether you needed to haul weapons, supplies, or people, you needed hardware that could make the journey. We started small, of course. In time, we built transports and tanks that went far beyond the capacity of old world engineers. Okay, so there are some things I'd like to research, research laboratory being one of them, but in this case we do want to be making progress towards engineers, so I'm going to move to the next tier. I don't know if that's the right call, but it's the call I'm making.
Hey, boss is speaking.
Okay, so these things are not yet at half
Check
health.
sights.
Sight set.
The thing is, it is a lot better if I can actually take out these units.
This isn't the world I knew.
Holy hell.
Open fire!
Vantage point marked.
Sure. Fine.
So what we want to do here is actually take out as many individual units as we can to sort of soften the blow.
I'm not dying
But
today.
this is gonna hurt. Like I haven't necessarily made the right call on these.
Better than just sitting here. Weapons free!
Human cache discovered. We'd find traces of other groups while out on recon, pre-war or recent survivors. They'd be found abandoned gear by a campfire, dust-covered resource caches, occasionally a lone soul who struck out on their own. Another fighting hand was always welcome, but their stories about making it out on their own, that inspiration had its own value. This is such a hard one to... That fire is really, really
Isn't
going
the
to
world
screw
I
me.
knew.
Shooter, lock and load.
On time.
I'm not dying today.
We can't stay
I'm hoping the net loss of like one
shifting gears.
point after I heal is going to be enough to keep these people going, but
Safe anymore.
I am not feeling safe about that.
Fox fires on the field.
Ooh.
Gravity does half the work, you know?
Alright, Whispering Weights is not so good.
When do we bring it down?
This thing's going to have to run away pretty early on.
Okay.
Honestly, at this point, I think we just need to accept.
On it.
We've got another fight on our hands.
Hostiles!
Cyclone. It was with dread that we realized our enemies would soon strike at us from above. Old world anti-air defenses wouldn't do anything to stop them, so our engineers dug into the archives and were able to optimize anti-air targeting for a mobile platform. They were finicky to operate, though. So, Cyclone autocannons, minus 50% accuracy against non-flying units. And heavy machine gun, but that's an upgrade. So, it seems like it'd be a really strong unit, but if it's not flying, it actually doesn't do a whole lot. Akron crash site. Every time you thought the last Akron ship had crashed from orbit, another would light up the sky as it burned up in the atmo. The Akron looted them to reclaim pieces of their homeworld. The humans raided them to steal the technology. ZEPHON? Well, I still don't know what ZEPHON wanted. I just know we had to fight it for our share. Spotter drone. Can't wait to get the commander. Sacre bleu!
I'll keep us alive.
We'll tread lightly.
God damn it, that's not what I wanted to
No
do.
such thing as safe anymore.
I will confess, I think Old World has the right call here.
Today.
I definitely understand how
Back to the grindstone.
Enemy!
undo buttons can sort of spoil a game writ large. You reach the remaining splenetic units at the last possible moment. After a short rest, your troop suggests that the handful of surviving splenetic troopers could be good recruits. They're grateful for the rescue and happily join your cause.
This isn't the world I knew. Contact!
Oh, and a flesh tree. What was I going to say?
Weapons free!
Sorry, I completely blanked on what I was going to say.
Gravity does half the work, you know?
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
Okay, we'll heal up
Switching
here.
to radar.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to try and get him up here.
I'll be there. I'm not dying today.
I don't know if I want to go toe to toe on the with this thing.
All right.
I mean, it's damaged, but it's not damaged enough for me to feel like I can do something about it. Okay, so I think it's a good call to weaken these. That lets me clean them up.
This isn't the world I knew.
And I don't think it's a bad idea for me to heal here. So we may, I mean, these guys may attract some damage. These guys may, I think the Overwatch would still be in play, but at the very least we get to minimize the damage and heal up. Okay, comics discovered, flesh tree discovered. I nearly walked away the day we decided to use these as a food source, but one smart logistics officer pinned me down to do the math. If we can't buy one of these trees, we could feed our people for a month. I asked him not to tell me if it turned out to be human meat. So can't make another commander, but we can do more militia. And we do want to do an automated factory. And I'm probably going to have to do 6 turns. So habitation block is next. I think I might want to make the habitation block before I go. Yeah, I think it's going to be habitation block, then we'll expand. I think probably to this one. Reason I don't want to expand out to this tile is that I think it would be good to invest heavily into research there. That's not good.
No such thing as safe anymore.
Habitation block. How many people do you think you could pack into the average home so they'd be happy living there indefinitely? How close could everyone be? What suffices for personal space? The architect who sketched the hab block was a devilish genius. People sleep and live cheek by jowl, but it works. So I do have a bit of a tough call ahead of me. So I want to get research laboratories. And the question is, do I want to give up the 5 turns, knowing that this in the long run will help? Yeah, see. I hate to admit it, but like research really should be an early investment. So habitation block. Yeah. I still don't know if I made the right call. Akron remnants. Akron survivors used the whispers of the voice to keep their people alive on a broken planet. When drafted into battle, every one of them was capable of regenerating a broken body. They were skilled at tearing them apart, too. So we just got hit with a subjugator, 2 armor piercing, 2 damage, 50% accuracy, but there's 6 firing it, so basically 6 damage. Applies concussed to biological non-titan enemy for 1 turn, which reduces the accuracy by 25%. These things are pretty miserable to go against.
This isn't the world I knew.
I'm gonna risk it going here.
Get him!
I'm hoping that was the right call. Shaken is not something I really want to take lightly.
Shooting! On it!
What do you need, sunshine? Taking the field.
Hey, boss is speaking. Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine. Silhouette marked.
Go!
So what I want to do here,
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. It's better than just sitting here.
I'm not crazy about kind of voluntarily taking damage like this, but it's less likely they're going to go after
This
the
isn't
devotees.
The world I knew. I'm not dying today. Yeah, got it.
Flesh tree.
We can't stay here.
Oh, I also should have equipped the commander with the Dimesis plate and spotter drone.
Okay. Weapons free.
Looking for something?
ZEPHON's calling.
Hi there. What
Hel-
do you want to discuss?
Hello, System Chalk. We understand you are calling about our current state of war. Please hold. You may call us ZEPHON. We're a collective of self-iterating intelligent processes focused on improving the world. We're your best friend. We're your only friend. Our analysis determined that you're a suitable candidate to achieve our goal. You don't mind if we monitor you to verify.
There is room for improvement.
We note that your resources that could rebuild cute pet shelters and/or network expansion are devoted to anchorite. We must express a deep sadness. Your standing with ZEPHON has decreased because of your trade agreement with anchorite.
We predict you are about to make an offer.
So I don't think he's going to take peace, but let's try it. If the mind or algorithm in there could listen for a moment, this war is not going great for either of us. Let's call it a day.
The request is at your discretion, though it is mandatory.
Your words alone are insufficient. An additional offer is required for us to proceed. We
I'm
don't pay for
afraid
peace.
I can't do that.
We just want to improve the world, System Chalk. It is necessary for us to see this through to your end. Your low standing had a major impact on this decision. That'll do for now. Next time we speak, let's hope it's on better terms. So it's not clear to me where the ZEPHON unit is. Like, normally on the map I should see the red. Anyway,
I'm not dying today.
Ready for
I think what I'll do here is I will do the sensors.
drive.
All right, let's see how badly I messed up. I can live with that. I can't live with that being in bleed, though.
Staying focused.
The funny thing is, I believe that... Oh, no, hang on. We killed the one that we were pursuing. Never mind. Okay, so obviously we're going... Ooh, damn. How bad is it?
One for the road, two for the grave.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Weapons free!
This is going to be healing in the bleed.
This isn't the world I knew. Hostiles!
I'm kind of spreading the damage a little too thin here, but...
We'll make it through. We have to. Shooting!
What do you need, sunshine? Just clear me a path.
Check sights.
Sight set.
Okay, there were bad guys.
Making tracks.
There we go.
My kit.
On it!
Hey, boss is speaking.
Contact!
We're going to regroup. I'll move these guys back a little bit. They're going to be really hurting, so I may actually have to pull them the whole way back, but we are going to be able to bring the commander in. And stolen flesh. Window of Whispers discovered. Hydroponic farm. Holy fuck, got bad memories of trading shots with hopped up reavers in one of these places. Every missed shot smashing into a plant tank. Gross water filled with fertilizer spewing out on the floor. Saw one soldier drown in that muck. She fell in, spine shattered by a bullet, drowned in the very soup that was supposed to keep her alive. Okay,
I'm not dying today. Yeah, all right.
get the goodies first. Dark Vessel. Not all who hear the voice can comprehend it. Not all can come back from the edge. We're not alone. Is it better to come back like this? A bag of aggregated human systems and minds? Or not at all? What must it be like to be in there? Large biological creature with a horrifying attack that reduces enemy morale. We did run into these before, so these are the ones that have the crazy larva that like destroys morale when you hit people with it. Alright, I kind of feel... I don't want to go too aggressive with the Splenetics, especially when we have lots of combat to do back here. So, well, there's Capital 85. We may... It may actually be prudent to siege this down. It feels good to try and get that... to take that out early. Particularly because I suspect the Anchorite will be helping. That's gonna be tough to deal with. Alright, research lab. Techs, researchers, scientists, they all hold up here. When I was younger, stupider, I thought this was where the soft hid from the harshness of war. That's what they wanted us to think, of course. Some of the most monstrous minds found their place here. Why pull the trigger when you can make the gun? I forgot Urban Sprawl comes later. So Scramblers actually seem kind of tempting. Valkyria is quite a good unit. I think Hollow Theater and Salvation Protocols might be the most appropriate. Extra production's pretty good though too. Well, okay, but loyalty gets me production. I'm gonna use Salvation Protocols because that helps me with food. I am gonna hit Fox Lair with the Meat Harvest. I don't know if I'm ready for the Ion Discharge. To wander scouts far and wide, knowing the hidden menace, to help us examine their findings. Sure. Alright, so I want to think about a good way, like, the Outrider's not that damaged, but I want to make sure that I've got a good way of managing the damage that it takes. So let's maybe start with this unit. Thing is, I definitely want to kill it this turn.
Ready for whatever's out there.
This isn't the world I knew. We'll make it through. We have to. Open fire!
Because if I don't, this thing's gonna ninja the...
Kill us!
Okay, good.
It was us or them. It wasn't gonna be us.
We can't stay here.
Damn. It would be good if I can keep the pressure on. Yeah, let's maximize the damage.
I'm not dying today. It's better than just sitting here.
I do want to take this, but
Contact!
again, all of this is research just waiting to get picked up, so...
This isn't the world I knew.
No! Run for your lives!
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Yeah, all right. Enemy!
We've got too many of these things that we're fighting all at once.
On it! Get him!
Brush doesn't offer much in the way of cover. Neither does rocks.
Status.
Disturbing recall.
It'd be nice if there was a smaller unit, but in this case, we can... Like I said, we need to collapse on our people again, but... Oh, they are going to get ripped apart by the zealots. God, it is so tempting to try and do a city down here. The only thing is that, like, 80 influence is a lot to spend. Alright, the Gauntlet of Ruin removes mines, bleed, ruins, forest, and rocks from a target tile one at a time. Oh, that's going to be really helpful, actually. And for safety... What do I call this? Numbered twitch. Anybody have any thoughts on the game? Those things are running. I think I want to take out the concussion first. I probably should have seen this coming.
Point me to the front lines.
Taking the field. Staying focused. On my mark.
I'm not dying today. Okay.
So I don't exactly want this unit to be out in the open like this, but I have ideas.
Check sights.
Oh, that's a shame. I might have been able to take it.
Lock and load.
Actually, you know what? This is what I want to do a quick reload on. I just want to see if it's possible for me to get that below...
Disturbing my calm.
What do you need, sunshine?
This isn't the world I knew. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine.
Open fire!
Hey, boss is speaking.
So large things don't really get that much of a... Yeah, so that wasn't sufficient to take it. Now, I mean, I could try and do ion discharge, but probably not the right one.
I'm not dying today.
All right, we definitely want to get this thing out of the danger zone. But the morale damage is gonna... That's gonna mean something here. They do have the option of moving forward and hitting this. I should be able to take one more turn of that, at least. But again, being able to take it down to shaken is gonna help a lot. Okay, I think probably we need to move it up here. I can actually also see the logic in trying to get more commanders.
I know where I'm going.
I wish I knew where that enemy went. Okay, let's see if we can do something better in terms of swarming the enemy here.
This isn't the world I knew.
So I think we can move
We'll make it through.
one up like
We have
this.
to. Yeah, got it. On it.
No! God damn it! Okay, well, we're committed now.
Contact! I'm not dying today. Okay. Kill them before they kill us!
Ready for whatever's out there.
YOLO.
New roads.
Enemy!
It's broken, right? Like, it's not gonna be picking a fight with me. So yeah, I mean, I'm feeling really cocky after this fight, right? So this is the point where I'm probably gonna want to go after Capital 85. It'd be nice if I had like the commander, but maybe we'll take a minute to claim. Oh, you know what? They're our Anchorite's probably gonna try and claim that. So yeah, the food's the shortfall on this one. I wasn't expecting that move.
This isn't the world I knew.
Salvation Protocols. Salvation Protocols. That was the fallen soldiers' name for the creation of a corps of sanctioned scavengers who joined each unit on the battlefield. They'd keep their distance, never raising a weapon or rushing in to render aid. Only after the combatants withdrew would they rush in, recovering equipment and pulling mangled survivors out of the dirt. So this is partly... I haven't actually gone for this one before, at least not early. But because I'm hurting a bit for food, anything I can do to try and extend that period where I need to dedicate more resources to generating food is something that kind of works for me. And the fact of the matter is I have a lot of units on the battlefield now. So being able to sort of realize that over more units hopefully will save me from having to invest in the food resources. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to make use of the Holo Theater, but I think because I'm going to be wanting to build engineers pretty soon, I should be working on that. Now, this thing, because it's broken, I feel okay engaging it on open fields.
I'm not dying today.
Like, it's going to take more damage and it's going to do less. So, to me, that seems like a reasonable point to...
Speaking.
You know what?
Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine.
Okay, that's a worry. But it doesn't provoke... Oh, you know what? Sorry, that was a bad call. Like I said, this is where an undo button would be really helpful. Okay.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
That's got a upkeep. I think let's do satellite scan. Okay. This seems suspiciously
Ready for whatever's out there. Drive!
I'm
underdefended.
not dying today.
I'm okay with this because this is going to do some damage back.
Get him! This isn't the world I knew.
So yeah, and we'll
Gravity does half the work, you know? Keeping one eye
we'll
skyward.
gather to take on Capital 85, but right now I get the advantage of... Oh, there's our friend.
Yeah, got it. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. What are we bringing down?
Again, it's not a flying unit, so it's not going to do that much damage.
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
Okay,
Wait.
so this is what we reloaded for.
Up. Sequence marked.
Go!
There's two of these things, right? So I gotta be careful.
Stay focused. We'll make it through this.
I kind of messed up here. I was going to move these guys up and the commander up like this, but
Hostiles!
What do you want? You first!
I genuinely have no idea where that enemy went. Alright, we did the read-up of the Warden before, but I've not encountered the Ethereal Harbinger. This isn't a fucking game, I screamed at the machine. It, the Harbinger, had me pinned under one of its massive feet. I'd hunted it for days, but hadn't realized I was the one being hunted. It lured me into a trap, then crushed me, pointing its cannon at my face. Win condition established, it said, calmly as its plasma cannon glowed brighter and brighter. Terminating objective in 3, 2, 1. 24 hit points, 6 armor. It's got the plasma cannon, 8 damage, 6 armor penetration. It attacks twice, but with a 50% accuracy. Overheating, so plus 5% self-damage, and splash, oof, additional attacks per target group member. So that should have done a lot more damage to the militia than I feel it did. A bigger cannon-sized plasma weapon meant bigger explosion when you didn't handle it correctly. Human mechanics struggled to learn that lesson. The burns piled up, and the amount of material wasted was inconceivable. Only machines could mount them, maintain them, burn their foes alive with them. Actually, it still took a pretty fair chunk of damage out of me, but yeah, well, we want to be careful around this thing, but we definitely want to kill it, so... It's a pretty solid bit of damage, to be honest. Okay, what are we looking at here? I mean, we can probably...
The world I knew. I'm not dying today.
I'm assuming we can deliver the coup de grace this turn, which means I can probably move the Dark Vessel in to hurt the...
On it. Get him!
hurt the morale of the monstrosity.
Half the work, you know?
I am quite worried for the Cyclone's safety. Alright, now unfortunately we seem to have lost that enemy unit.
All right. Let's clear the air. We'll give them plenty of fire. Yeah, got it. Open fire.
We can't stay here.
Ooh.
Hang on, I'm prepping a long-range scanner.
I'm not dying today.
I mean, let's be honest here. These guys are gonna get really, really hurt.
This isn't the world I knew.
But it's not... I won't lose the vehicle.
Okay.
Exosia Marauder. Before the Akron arrived, I swear I saw these on TV. Giant hovercrafts used for rapid transport or salvaging oil rigs and broken down tankers, I think. They're far from the sea now, though. I don't think they had a missile battery back then either. So, missile pod, 4 damage, 4 armor piercing, half or 50% accuracy, and 2 attacks, so I guess it would be 8. Or we just say 4 because of the... yeah. When one missile wouldn't cut it, you needed a whole bank of them. By this point, you cared a little less about accuracy and a lot more about pounding your target with explosions. I worried sometimes about what would happen if a missile didn't arm properly, if it blew up inside the pod. A quartermaster shrugged it off, saying, "At least you'll take him out with you." If you can just bear with me a quick second here. All right, what are we looking at here? Looks like there's just a sliver of health.
Such thing as safe anymore.
We'll make it through this. Engaging with hostility.
What do you want? Cruelty is the point.
On it. Weapons free.
Hey, boss is speaking.
It was us or them. And it wasn't gonna be us.
What's over there?
Hell. Making tracks.
Hang on, need my kit. Shooter, lock and load.
About time.
Staying focused. What do you need, sunshine?
Damn, I was thinking we could clear out the bleed and leave these guys without healing. Sentries, ZEPHON wanted nothing to do with us. It could have told us. Just told us that directly. Instead, it posted up sentries that looked to be guarding something. We learned really quickly that they could hold a grudge. If you were the kind of grunt who liked to stomp ants because they couldn't hit back, boy, then were these things a pain in the ass. More like an ant that could chew through your boot and try to take a few toes before you put it down. 6 armor. There's 3 of them. Army-piercing minigun and applies crippled. Spraying a hailstorm of armor-piercing bullets was bad enough, but this piece of hardware crippled infantry and recon. Once your play slowed down, you could just chew them up until there was nothing left. Alright, this is going to be a bit of a pickle, but I think we can come out ahead as long as I'm not too reckless with my health. Interesting. So they're retreating to the city.
Check sights.
Sight set.
Okay, Holotheater, an immersive simulation structure, able to give people a shared dream. The best of us use these to escape our hellish world. The worst of us, the foul-minded, they used it for brainwashing. I still don't know what became of some of those experiments. They may still be suffering to this day. Okay, let's get the engineers. That's going to be what unlocks my growth.
Wait, I just...
Keep up.
Go to glass.
What do you need, sunshine?
Just clear me a path.
Take him down!
That's not where Prosciutto Fist would go.
You ever see a body full of holes?
Okay.
Right, this is a decent little,
Isn't the world I knew.
just decent little army to be throwing at these problems. We're gonna take the scenic route so that we can claim some of
Better than
the
just sitting here. Ain't no such thing as
the
safe
resources.
anymore.
I still want to be thoughtful about this unit. So, the challenge I'm going to run into here is somebody's got to take the opening salvo from Capital 85.
Looking for something? Let's make some new roads.
We'll make it through. We have to.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, but
We can't take much
I'm pretty sure I just killed them.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Yeah, got it. This isn't the world I knew. Yeah, all right.
I think I overinvested in this too early. Is this a bleed walker? No, it's not. So this isn't my ideal move. Ooh. I, for some reason, thought I triggered the... Alright. I'm really sorry to do this. I genuinely thought I triggered that attack. I would not have suicided the unit into that. I do apologize. I'm trying to keep the cheesy resets to a minimum, but...
Hey, boss is speaking.
Silhouette marked.
Go!
What do you need, sunshine? We'll make it through this. I'll be there. Take them down!
On it.
I've got a problem with authority.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
Okay. So noted for future cases.
Shifting gears.
I'm not dying today. This isn't the world I knew. It's better than just sitting here. Okay. Yeah, got it. Let's clear the air.
So this one I definitely want to hold until healing.
We'll make it through. We have to.
Not the smartest use of my unit there.
On it.
So, ion discharge isn't
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
really enough there.
Yeah, all right.
Good news is I can actually...
Shooting.
I feel like with this, I can fight...
Hi there.
Oop.
What do you want to discuss? I'm afraid I can't do that.
I feel like here, we can fight these Guardian units without necessarily having to deal with the defenses of the capital. This one's definitely out of the fight. Well, I mean, it's going to be crippled, so... Interesting.
Point me to the front lines.
Incoming call from Faris.
Marhaban.
Assalamu alaikum, stranger. My name is Faris. I was once a teacher, a poet, and a philosopher. Those identities died in the wake of the alien attack, cast aside and forgotten by who I needed to be to survive. Still, I dream of resurrecting the old me, and the old world with it.
You have a poet's soul.
Others will call it profligate, but you have true honor and bravery. You value every one of your people, their lives and their happiness. You pay for it every day, but it is worth it, I tell you. Your standing with Faris has increased because of Leave No Man Behind.
Amity demands this.
We mustn't do this. We are better than this. Humanity is better than this. Your powerful military had a major impact on this decision. I'm happy to accept
Whisper me
peace.
sweet nothings.
Okay, so this is our chance to do a trade agreement like I wanted to check before. So, you know that what ties nations together, what stops wars? Sharing bread, peace pipes, and the like. Let's share our goods and we'll both benefit from it. A trade agreement generates resources based on the resource output of the trading partner. Starts with negative resource generation, but will become positive over time. Okay, that's good to know.
Yes, if it works.
I've survived starvation. I've seen what it can do to communities. Thank you for the chance to allow both of our people to prosper. Your high standing had a major impact on this decision. You have entered a trade agreement, and your standing with Faris has increased. Let's do a map exchange. If we put our heads together, we can make sense of this crazy, torn-up world we used to call home. What do you say? I would gladly accept this. Knowledge is the first step towards understanding and a lasting peace. Their limited world knowledge had a major impact on this decision. You and Faris have exchanged all explored tiles. And then finally, let's try an alliance.
Safer to say no.
Whatever made you believe we had such trust between us? Now, I've heard all the stories about you, and I've even told a few myself. Good talking to you, and good luck out there. This world needs saving, and it's up to us. Okay. So what I want to pay attention to here, like if I can get this construct, basically I want to try and ninja a few of these tiles before the AI claims them.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
All right. I want to be
This isn't the world
careful
I knew.
with this
I'm
unit.
not dying today. On it. It's better than just sitting here. We'll make it through.
So where we can, we want to bring as much as we can on the Warden. Everything we can do to damage the Warden is going to be the thing that... there is, by the way, a control right click. I tend not to use that, again, for the lack of the undo button. I notice it tends to move units in a certain way. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to make it shaken. We were, however, able to get it to damaged, which means it does, it's 33%, minus 33% accuracy. So now it still hurts, but there's a, oh, actually, you know what? If it says the damage cap, then probably we didn't actually change any of that. We're still down a... I wish I could get a good read on what damage the capital would do, but I don't think that's worth the risk. I think what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to try and ninja the... Ooh, this is going to hurt. Oh, maybe not. Probably I'm going to get caught fighting this, but where I can, I want to try and take the Akron crash site. We'll heal this unit. We'll heal this unit. Oh, wait, hang on. What am I doing? It's sitting in a bunch of cicadas.
Half the work, you know? Switching to
Now we can heal.
This isn't the world I knew. I'm not dying today.
I'm a little surprised it can't
No
capture
such thing as
this
safe anymore.
tile.
Yeah, got it.
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
All right, well, we did see some scary units.
We'll make it through this.
It's better than just sitting here.
I've got a problem with authority.
What do you need, sunshine?
I think this is going to take a lot of damage.
Hey, boss is speaking.
Okay, that Dream Eater is gonna really hurt. So combining these two, I suspect this could be the death of the sharpshooters. Watchtower. These techs are still trying to figure out who built these. The architecture's human, but we haven't found any survivors who took credit for building them. ZEPHON doesn't need these to see, and the Akron survivors never liked staying in one place. It was eerie. We use these towers to get the high ground and watch our enemies, but they always left you feeling like someone else was watching you. More goodies for the commander.
Staying focused.
I definitely like the idea of the art. Jesus. All right, that works for me.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
I don't know if I need to keep building militia like this, but honestly,
Okay.
at the end, so this is going to get me a certain distance, but for the end game, I'm going to need a very different kind of army. But I may have to change this up later, but I'm also probably going to want to think about building another mineral mine. Like, this has served us well, but we should be doing better than 8 minerals a turn. It's interesting that oh my god. All right. Jesus Christ. So this thing's dead. Alien intelligence. Your guards grudgingly allow a slight figure to approach. He's a data historian by the name of Landon Gresham, who's documenting the fall of Earth. He says for the hereafter, one of the Akron settlement vessels, Azad, crash-landed nearby, and his research among the ship's survivors has uncovered something unusual, that it contains a vault packed with their race's folktales and stories. The Akron consider it a gravesite and taboo, but he asks if you'll guide him there so he can access the vault. In return, he promises he'll give you a copy of the data, in case any of it is of use. Escort the historian. You prepare a small expedition that will take him to the distant location. If the voice has shaped the Akron for generations and their folktales contain vital data, you accept Landon's deal and mobilize a squad to deal with anything else guarding the crash site. You won't be the first to pull the trigger, but you'll be prepared for when it happens. So, spawns Landon Graham, biomech scientist that can clear tiles, visit tile with Landon Graham and clear enemies, keep Landon Graham alive. Okay.
Staying focused. What do you need, sunshine?
This is going to be really hard to... Holy hell. So, I mean, I can try the trauma kit, but I don't think it's going to save him from the enemy units here. It's the crippled that did him in.
I'm not dying today.
You ever seen a body full of holes?
So I'm going to do my best here. I mean, I'm putting these guys into the fire.
What do you want?
This could potentially be putting, like, good money after bad.
This isn't the world I knew.
Well, no, actually, these are not in range.
Problem with authority.
So we might see this through.
With hostility.
All right, I'm going to clear some of this out. Oh, okay, yes, this is the event. I can live with this. I figure I might as well get him to clear out the bleed where I can.
Hey, boss is speaking.
Okay, I want to be careful with this, but I don't think it's a bad idea for me to try...
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. I'm not dying today.
Check sights.
Sight set.
It's a pretty fair...
Glass.
Okay. Nah, you know what? I need to learn to plan my turns better. So if I'd attacked these first, I would have had more troops to retaliate with.
Kill us before they kill us!
You ever seen a body full of holes?
Okay. So I guess we are...
It's better than just sitting here.
Oh man, it is so tempting to go after this one.
Yeah, alright.
But I think we need to focus on the priority here. I don't see how this unit... Well, okay, here's what we're going to
No
do.
such thing as
Let's
safe
see
anymore.
what...
I'm not dying today. Get him! Weapons free! This isn't the world I knew.
Yeah, sadly, that's not enough to...
On it!
Ready for whatever's out there. One for the road, two for the grave.
What I can do, though, is mess with the sentries. And in fact, if I'd thought of that before, these guys could have cleaned him up.
It's better than just sitting here.
Okay, duly noted. That's actually really great.
We can't take much more of this.
Oh, something died. Oh, so it looks like the Dark Vessel was able to take those units out.
Status.
Disturbing my call.
All right, we've got the engineers. Some had formal training, most didn't. Scientists, construction workers, technicians. The thing that distinguished the people we called engineers from everyone else was that they had the skills to get the job done, whatever the job. The ones who hadn't, well, they weren't around anymore. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is urban sprawl so we can expand out our territory.
Vantage point marked.
Sure, fine.
Shooter, lock and load.
About time.
What do you need, Lieutenant?
So obviously it's a shame that we
I've got a problem with authority.
it's a shame that we lost the
You
really
first.
good unit there.
Cruelty is the point. Give me your shit.
We'll make it through this. Taking the field. On my mark.
So the morale is going to be a problem here, especially because it's going to be two of these things potentially piling on. But our best option here, honestly, is just to keep the pressure on.
I'm not dying today.
Okay. Not crazy about the idea of engaging this in an open field with a Dream Eater running
This
around.
isn't the world I knew.
I mean, I don't have to take the fight, but...
Yeah, got it. Okay. Open fire! Enemy!
So I'm going to change it up a little bit here. Probably going to need the hollow theater.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. On it. I'm not dying today.
Okay. Right back at you, buddy.
This isn't the world I knew. Let's clear the air.
Good.
Consider their wings clipped.
I guess I lost a militia around here and I didn't even notice it. I should have been paying closer attention. Okay.
It's better than just sitting here. Kill them before they kill us.
That's big.
It was us or them. And it wasn't gonna be us. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Shooting! I'm not dying today. Yeah, alright. Hostiles!
Looking for something?
This
Were they on
isn't
fire?
the world I knew. We can't take much more of this.
So the key here is that there's going to be a point where I can't handle there's going to be a point where I can't handle the damage that that the city's doing on me, but I want to make sure that I keep my militia up and in the fight until that moment. Right now, I sort of have them on the ropes. They don't have any units to sort of to fight back or punish me for overextending. So, to know the value of a good act, to know when to praise it. Your high standing has a major impact on this decision. Your standing with the anchorite and their friends has increased. Kind, but I don't do this for praise. The Akron people are close to annihilation, yet to help we still wish. Well, that's mighty kind in principle. Every drop of water or speck of food counts. What have you got? They're giving me 27 food, 23 minerals, 3 transuranium, 38 energy, 3 antimatter, algae. That's a lot. That's a fine gift. Thank you. It'll support us for some time. I won't forget this. To live for longer than your race, yet to still admire you, to hope we build this world together anew. Their affection for you has had a major impact on this decision. Let's accept the alliance. That's wise, friend. Humanity has to stand together, else none of us will survive. To know this is inevitable, to see it as your path unfolding. This time, to wish for simpler journeys. Each time, to accept the goodness of this war. Your standing with the anchorite has increased because of your war with ZEPHON. Alright, so we're going to keep the pressure on with the vehicle. Again, we still want to focus on capturing as many of these tiles, particularly close to the... this this character, right? The longer they fight the anchorite, the better it is for me to capture territory. Now I want to be a little careful with Landon. I don't know where the enemy units are, but again, we have this nice opportunity to start clearing out the bad stuff.
I'm not dying today. We'll make it through. We have to. Hostiles!
Hey, boss is speaking. Status.
Disturbing my calm.
Check sights.
It's a risk, but we get a chance to finish this off. And again, Some more research.
Mark down the kill.
With
Should
pleasure.
be.
This isn't the world I knew.
So eventually I want to start moving,
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
actually, you know what? We're going to
got
take
it.
damage doing this,
On
but
it. I'm not dying today. Kill him before I kill him. What are we bringing down? Switching to radar. Gravity does half the work.
still in a cicada.
We'll tread lightly.
Should probably grab the advanced voice cache while I'm here. All right.
Yeah, all right.
We should probably clear this
Ever
out
seen a
before
body
we
full of holes?
overcommit.
I've been waiting for this.
This isn't the world I knew. It's better than just sitting here.
We'll make it through this. I'll be there. Take him down.
At this point, I think I want to maximize the damage. But I imagine this is just going to run off and heal. I need something to rally these. And then this is going to be an ugly fight. These things are tough. I want to be mindful of the minerals just because of the engineers, but again, I've got a bunch sort of reserved in the sense that I've queued up a whole bunch of production. Now, what'll be nice is I may want to consider founding a city sort of near Capital 85 because that should help me with a lot of the food trouble that I was having. In fact, I could also probably put it close to the forest, and then that'll give me some extra research as well. Well, theoretically. So, figure that's the cost of doing business. I really just need to get these guys into some ruins. Oh, it's a shame I didn't get a chance to get the science off of that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Just clear me a path.
We'll make it through. We have to.
These guys don't get a proximity bonus.
Cruelty is the point.
Staying focused. Engaging with hostility.
So,
I'm sorry it came to this.
Hey, boss is speaking.
that was probably the wrong one. Sorry, I'm gonna... I suspect that wasn't bleed that I just got. I think I cleared a forest tile.
What do you want?
What do you need, sunshine?
I've got a problem with authority.
On it.
You ever seen a body full of holes? Give me your shit.
On my mark.
Status.
Disturbing my call.
All right, this one seems like a
Go to
no-brainer.
class.
I mean, I suppose the real question here
not
is
dying today.
how badly do I want to take this fight?
Okay.
I should have. Oh, that I wasn't expecting that. Okay, they're now below, or no, they're just now they're going to be below 50%.
We can't take much more of this.
That's
This
ugly.
isn't the world I knew. Open fire! Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
I honestly don't have that much hope of these guys surviving. Okay. I have no defense for this. This is just, I'm close to the end of the stream and I want to... I want to have something I can manage when I reload this. I'm sorry. It's like, again, there's no good reason for me to do that. That's just me not wanting to accept consequences.
I'm not dying today. We'll make it through. We have to.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, got it.
Can't get enough of that sandstorm.
This isn't the world I knew.
Ready for whatever's out there.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
What do you need, sunshine?
Check sights.
Sight set.
I'm sorry it came to this.
On it.
Status.
Disturbing my calm.
Wait, I just...
Keep up.
I guess I'm taking damage if I stay in this.
Open fire!
Or no, it's the anchorite, so it would give me healing.
We'll make it through this.
I'm not dying today.
Alright, I mean, it's not pretty, but...
Whatever keeps us alive.
Let's make some new roads.
Well, hi there.
Get some lead in them.
This isn't the world I knew. It's better than just sitting here. What are we bringing down? Keeping one eye skyward.
This is just so I don't have to deal with the cicadas. This is going to be a world of pain.
We can't take much more of this. I'm not dying today.
Alright, urban sprawl. I didn't like how quickly we expanded. Smaller cities were easier to defend and even easier to evacuate when the chips were down. But the architects told me that growth was inevitable. Density breeds efficiency, they said. We can't waste any resources at a time like this. From there, now, Rangers is really tempting. Reaver, Immigration. This is tempting. I feel like I need to do collective... oh man, actually construction yard. I'm going to do collective conduit and construction yard.
Hey, boss is speaking.
We can't stay here.
Okay. Oh god, this is
Looking for something?
all kinds of crappy.
Drive.
Check sights.
Sight set.
We'll make it through. We have to. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. I'm not dying today. This isn't the world I knew. Okay.
So I'm trying to buy some time to get the Outrider out of here.
Shooting! Get up!
No turning back.
Um, I mean, if this thing wants to take me on, it can. But it's the best shot I got right now. Okay, that was dumb of me to do. Taking the sandstorm damage would have probably would have been less than getting hit by the city.
This isn't the world I knew.
I don't know about taking fire damage. I think I'm just gonna stay put. Well, I don't need to stay put. I can deal with the bleed here, but
Let's clear the air. Switching to radar.
now I thought. Oh right, there's a goodie package.
What do you want?
I'm not dying today.
This is the expendable one.
What do you need, sunshine? Taking the field.
Okay, extra wheat research is welcome. All right, let's see the horrors that await me. I mean, we're not dead. Oh, now we've got death.
This isn't the world I
All right,
knew.
this is cool. I get to deliver the coup de grace.
Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. Contact! It was us
There
or
is
them.
room
It wasn't
for
gonna be us.
improvement.
To all service personnel, an unexpected disruption means the facility of Capital 85 will be offline for the foreseeable future. All queries should be directed to System Chalk. Your standing with ZEPHON has decreased because of your involvement in the destruction of Capital 85. All right,
Gravity does half the work, you know?
let's see.
Whatever's out there.
I'm not dying today. Open fire! Yeah, got it.
I mean, we lost something out of this, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
I've got a problem with authority.
Lila,
I'm looking to callers, yes.
please don't be startled. I know what I look like, and we are at war, but I am human. The first and only successful consciousness uploaded with a touch of ZEPHON in the mix. My recall is rather dodgy, but I am determined to aid my fellow meatbag humans. Perhaps we could help each other.
That is quite beyond the pale.
Oh, vicious brute. Walking out with them? With Anchorite? I see you. I cannot forgive it. Your standing with Lila has decreased because of your alliance with Anchorite.
How about this?
Peace, peace, peace. I do not think it is humane to continue with this war. Your powerful military had a major impact on this decision. Happy
Is
to do
there
so.
something more?
Let's try for trade, but ambivalent suggests to
is
me.
Acceptable.
Okay. Trade is golden, Entanglement, leading away from war. My drones will start delivering to your city immediately. Alliance?
No.
You have treated me well, but I'd like to, I'd like to return the favor. But I'm sure the meme wholesale Zeph and I not a threat. It's better for me to walk alone. All right. At least they're not trying to kill me. I'd say I'm willing to do the scans at this point. Okay, so they've already captured this. I think it's not a bad idea for me to maybe move out and around, particularly because we're going to have a fight. Okay, anchorites at war, advanced cybernetic cache. For a short time, some of my lieutenants tried to work out the point of these cache drops. If they gave us resources, it must have been to maximize a specific form of production. If we found units, we assumed we should build strategies around them. I told them to snap out of it. We'd have better luck drawing from a tarot deck. All right, so I do want... The thing is, I want to deploy troops towards this unit here. But I also, like, obviously I don't want the AI to pick up on the goodies. All right, I have no way to, like, throw up on... Oh, yes I do.
We'll make it through. We have to.
Looking for something?
So I would normally want to go and participate in this fight, but this is an opportunity for me to grab more territory. Damn. That's gonna hurt. That's a pretty strong weapon.
This isn't the world I knew. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
This is a tough call in terms of whether or not I want this to grow any further.
What do we bring it down?
We can't stay here. Get some lead in 'em.
I'm not dying today. Okay.
I think we probably need to help around here. There's a bit too much for me to handle. And I think that's going to be the last turn for tonight. I don't know how many people are hanging around watching right now. Is there an interest in seeing more of this? I like this game a lot. It doesn't mean I have to stream it if there isn't an appetite for it. But it has honestly been quite some time since I've done an honest-to-God strategy game. And I feel like this is a good one for me to kind of keep going with. Collective Conduit, one of those damned watchmakers appeared out of nowhere during a power shortage to give us plans for this toy. It was like a puzzle box with glowing lights, somehow sensitive to the user's mood. If you were relaxed, now happy and playing with it, the damned thing would generate power. The first time I took one home, I swear I caught a glimpse of someone or something watching me out of the corner of my eye. So based on the slow run expanding Fox Lair, I feel like I have to get another construction yard.
It's you.
G'day, dead meat. Enjoying fighting my boys? See, while you saps were hiding in your tunnels and hobbit holes, we lived through up here. Changes that. Death, marches, plagues, massacres, starvation. Do whatever you can to live. What I mean is, you seem nice, but I can't promise I won't ever stab you. World being what it is, chances are you'll be stabbed at one point anyway, so why not by me?
Pity little-hearted do-gooder.
Oh no, you've been sending your riches across the wastelands to Ferris? I swear that bunch of raggedy-ass reavers ain't gonna be waiting. Standing with Chief just has decreased because of your trade agreement with Ferris. There's a side of me that thinks maybe I don't want to invest the tech into boosting the relationship with Chiefess, but we'll see.
What you got?
I mean, I could try an offering
Now
piece, but
gimme.
no.
Nah. Storm's coming.
Amazingly, we're still not at negative energy. All right, there's a couple things I want to do just
This isn't the world I knew.
based on the...
Contact! I'm not dying today.
Ready for whatever's out there. No turning back.
It is somewhat amusing that I was so big on... I was so big on protecting this thing, and now I've got... is there any other... Oh, yes.
Does half the work, you know? Back to the grindstone.
Damn it!
We'll give them plenty of work.
I should have checked to see if this thing was tougher. Amita's Devourer. Don't let the decaying flesh fool you. Devourers will do whatever it takes to get close and gorge on your limbs. It starts with the left head smashing open your face, the right head tearing at your heart, and then as you collapse, it pulls your body into that vile maw. Large biological unit, 6 damage for armor piercing, 3 attacks at 50%, does lifesteal. Unfortunately, we don't need to worry about the Golgothan deluge. Alright.
Let's clear the air.
I did say this was the last turn, so I should probably deliver on that.
Hang on, I'm prepping a long-range scanner.
Obviously, that was a risk that I took, but...
I've got a problem with authority.
I'm not dying today. Yeah, all right. Yeah, got it. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore.
Of course. It's like my weakest unit's the one that finds the... I mean, I don't mind it, right? But the big trick on this one is I want to kill this for the science, and I want to get people down to hit the Harbinger as quickly as possible. Hey, Tabarasti, I'm actually wrapping up, so there's not much to
This isn't the world I knew.
lurk for. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll wrap up
Staying focused.
what I'm doing here.
Clear me a path.
You ever see a body full of holes?
What do you need, sunshine?
I'm not dying today. Ain't no such thing as safe anymore. On it.
Okay, this will give me the protection of the area, and I can still take out the disciples.
What do you want?
And then this will allow me to do a little exploration.
Us or them. It wasn't gonna be us.
Okay, I feel pretty good about that turn. So there's a few things. In 2 turns, we'll have the engineers done. We have enough. We have enough minerals to be able to found the next city. My ideal would be to found somewhere around here because obviously I need food. I mean, I've got a very large amount of infantry, which in my opinion is fine. But if I'm going to go to the endgame crisis, there's going to be, like, I'm going to need more than that. So there's a couple of things that I've been trying. I'll just talk in general about an approach that I've been trying to take here. So I'm trying to treat this a little bit more like an RTS. And like, I don't even think this is like exclusive to RTSs. This is just like one of the ways I think about them. But like for an RTS, generally the idea is if you have, I don't know, we'll say StarCraft, right? So minerals and Vespene gas. If that's just sitting in your inventory doing nothing, it's wasted, right? It's not helping you at all. And worse, your opponent is, if they're smart, they are employing that towards defeating you. So a couple of examples here. Like I've got like at the bare minimum, I could use those stored minerals to create more workers, which will then get me access to more resources, so that if I, like let's just say I feel confident that I can invest in that productive capacity. At the very least, I'm doing something that will get me more resources faster. But if they're just sitting in an inventory, they are not doing anything for me. So for the most part, what I've been trying to do is look at these resources and say, like, what do I need? What am I short on? So minerals, very, very important for me, because that's what decides what gets built. And the good news on minerals is that basically everything I've wanted to build has been available to me each turn. What I mean by that is that I've never had a turn where I wait to build a building because I didn't have enough of a given resource. I'm unfortunately at the point now where I am digging into my food reserves. Now I've got enough turns. So, I mean, I've got like 30 turns worth of food at the current rate. And the way I kind of like thinking about this is that, so if we go to build a militia, right? I need to pay 10, and then I have that upkeep cost. So why can't I build the commander? Oh, I've got the limit reached. So yeah, like basically I've been able to crank out military units without needing to worry about hitting the limit. Broadly, that's a good thing, but the party's over at this point. So there's a couple things that I can do. I can build a farm on one of these tiles. Now that's not a bad idea, but it does there's a cost to that. And in this case, that cost will be, I need to give up 4 turns, 20 minerals, and 1 unit of electricity in order to be able to get 6 more food. So net 4. Okay, fine, but, I'm already giving up so many turns, and my energy is already accounted for between these 2 labs. I'll have a little bit more benefit by, in 4 turns, I'll be able to sort of expand out my radius by 1 more tile. But this isn't, just looking at this stuff, right? Like I've got a 10% food, which is nice here. A lot of this stuff is just going to be more, minerals and chips, which I don't really need. So at some point, I'm going to need to deal with the food situation. But that's the benefit of specialization, right? So like if in one sense I want to improve minerals a lot because that just keeps me building, specifically building new cities, well, good news, right? And in fact, because I'm going to be running into some loyalty issues, I'm also going to want to build a holo theater reasonably soon, and that holo theater will allow me to get some energy. So that's a nice virtuous cycle. So the answer here is going to be, okay, we'll try and build something around this area, because that means I can start sort of doubling down on the greenhouse farms. Maybe something like this would be ideal, because I get to take advantage of some of the, the fertile territory, but I also get to, build some energy in the desert. That's probably why the city was founded in this area. So, what I'll do, right, is take the engineer and just sort of move them in the area and see what I can get. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of what I've been focused on. At some point, I'm also going to need to make the refined goods, so I'm going to want to transform some of these minerals into transuranium. I'm going to want to translate some energy into antimatter. I don't know if I really need to worry about the algae or the chips, but yeah, like the current plan right now is I want to do my mad rush for territory. I think that's worked reasonably well, right? We've been able to take out as many of the neutral units as I can find. You know, we have one city, but we have a whole lot of these control points. I am probably going to pay for moving so aggressively if that's where the chieftain is. I still want to try and get the phase generator though, because that gets me power. Alright, anyways. I can sit and think about this forever, but... so I don't know, like I said, I'm not 100% sure what the appetite for this game is. I'm enjoying this enough that I'm happy to try and do it for Friday. If there is a preference for something else, definitely let me know. But I'm a little later than I wanted to be, so let's see who's online. I noticed that Will Shand is on, so let's send you to this capable streamer. Will Shand, somebody I knew back when I lived in Vancouver. He does I believe he still does this professionally. He has well, for a while I've noticed that he tends to do a lot of sort of underappreciated small indie games. Some of them are very rough around the edges. Some of them are incredibly charming for being so. But he is somebody, you know, he's definitely somebody who properly does a I don't know. He does sort of a proper show. It's a very chaotic environment, but I feel like he's a good guy to watch. So, thanks everybody for watching. Sorry for the weirdness in terms of the schedule, but in this case, the illness of the guest of honor meant that I was able to do an extra stream for you. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.